This time, let me know, is the music loud or quiet? It should be very quiet right now. Excuse me. Good morning, MG. Good morning, Chuck. Good morning, Matty Ice. One second, I'm gonna fix my mic. Good morning, Chuck. Good morning, MG. Good morning, Matty Ice. Good morning, Jiatsu. Top of the morning to you as well. Good morning, kid. Good to see you. It's loud? Wow. I was like, alright, it should be quiet. I turned it down 3 decibels and I had the volume at like stupid low. How's that? That should be like super quiet. I think I'm starting to learn that some of these playlists have different excuse me, have different loudness. Like there's different loudness settings on different playlists or something. It doesn't make any sense. It's quiet. You can still hear it though, right? I want it to be quiet, but somewhat in the background. Does that make sense? So I'm kind of hoping it's like somewhere in the middle. As long as it's not towards the louder side, I don't care. I just don't want it to be too loud. Yesterday, I went back and reviewed yesterday's stream, and the first like 30 minutes, the music's blasting. I'm like, what the hell? Which is funny, because I did the same thing. I turned it down like a lot, and it was still loud, so I genuinely don't know. I think it's what I said. I think some playlists are just louder than others. Nothing I can do about that. But it didn't hurt to ask. If you guys are in Discord, I've already posted SPX, SPY, and Tesla. You just have to go look in chat. It's the exact same channels I post every single day. So make sure to go check that out. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good to see you all. How was everyone's last night, I guess? How did y'all sleep? Me personally, I slept like a king. Pretty nice sleep. Oh, let me pull this up on the other screen. Whoops. Today's August 6th. That is correct. Detach. I always put this up on my other screen so I can call out like what contracts we're looking at and what prices they're at, because yeah, I also give reasoning for why I choose the different contracts. Most people don't understand what gamma squeezing is. Most people don't understand what like that gamma boost that you get is really what we're looking for. It's where you go from out of the money to at the money and from at the money to in the money, and that's where you get the biggest extrinsic boost into your contract's value. So we like to go for those. So you'll almost always see me choose for just out of the money, like by 1 or 2, never more than that. And I always like to get that contract into the money, or at least at the money, and then the contract's value be worth a pretty good amount. But guys, today, pretty easy game plan. If you haven't already looked inside the chats, we're pretty much focused on this area here. So I'll add some arrows here just to kind of give you a simple idea of what we're looking at. Of course, it's not as easy as just adding an arrow. But our main focus is around this area here. It's a combination of a few different levels that we had from the other day. I'm just going to leave them there. And we had another good supply here that just got used perfectly in the pre-market. So I said, fuck it, why not? Let's leave it there. Outside of that, I don't really want to see above this for calls. You know, I really don't. I need to see more price action above that and above 632s, because that's where we can truly get stopped if we get any kind of bounce up today. In case we just fall through the floor today, which is very likely considering what we saw yesterday, a beginning of potentially more downside. We need to see the break of 628.40s. If you see any price action under this that gives you extra emphasis on sellers being present, then you should definitely take action. The only thing that could stop us right there would be the previous day close, and I don't even have it marked. It's not even marked. It's just to kind of keep the chart clean. But it's exactly at 628. So 628 is a pretty big barrier for us today. And if we do go down, there's not really much under us besides these 626 high 625s right here. So this would be a perfect first target area. Pretty good distance away outside of the previous day low. And then outside of that, we have other levels too. So if we need to, we can scroll down. So yeah, that's the gist of the game plan on SPY. For the shorts, I would honestly be looking at the... I'm looking at the chain now. Oh wait, I gotta switch to my Greeks. What the hell? Here we go. Yeah, so the better two contracts to look at if we do get that downside approach is going to probably be 628 and 627. Those are going to be your two strikes that you're looking at in case we do get the downside potential. If we're jumping into long contracts, which we could already jump into some right now with some short-term risk, but I just don't like trading the open because it's genuinely kind of stupid. The contracts haven't even actually gotten the exact quotes that are accurate yet, so it's kind of pointless to trade the first few minutes. But if we do get some upside today towards this area, I would like to see the, looking at the chain now, 631 to 632 are probably going to be our best friends. But there is a chance later on in the day that 633 strike is going to be our friend if we get further up, and then vice versa for more downside if we see that for the 626. So there's a couple really good options today. I'm not going to lie. Yesterday we were going over contracts that were like $42, $38, and the other one was like $27, and we got our move. We got our move, and every single contract was well over 100, 200. So it's like you're really playing with just really good risk reward if you're approaching the chart correctly. You know, the contract should be the easiest part of your trade. You shouldn't even be thinking about it. It should just be another thing. But the actual game plan and like being ready for that should be pretty easy. Being patient, that's fucking hard. Sitting on your hands, not just jumping on every little red and green candle, that's the hard part. But everything else, honestly, the setup for everything, preparing, that should be fairly easy to you. What's up, King Carnage? Let me see y'all's names. What's up, King Carnage? What's up, Alex? What's up, Ayala? Good to see you. What's up, Nard? Good to see you as well. Good morning. Alright, you're going back over here now. And yeah, be sure to drop a like on the stream. I just finished covering what we're looking at on SPY. Share the stream link around. Yesterday, just to kind of show this before the market really gets moving. Yesterday, if you missed anything, I did post a quick summary of what we were all looking at the other day. I even had ChatGPT make me this cute little thumbnail that it actually sucks at making and I had to fix. It's the first one I've had to fix, but yeah, so we've been posting pretty good videos about just cuts from the stream. This one, pretty much all the ones with good looking thumbnails from the past 8 videos. These 6 here. So I would definitely check these out if you've been missing any of the streams or just want a quick update on what we've been doing. I think you'd be pretty surprised what we're doing every day in here. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the info. I'm going to go over SPX and Tesla real quick. So SPX is a little different from SPY. I always have to explain this, but it's tracking volatility. So you should never swing trade this. Every time I see someone swing trade this, they honestly lose a little bit of respect for me because I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're just being greedy because there's bigger numbers. In reality, you could do the exact same damage on SPY and you're not having that same damage control. You should never swing trade SPX. But it is amazing for scalping. It is probably one of the greatest chains for scalping, but you should not stay on it all the time. I've definitely seen a fair bit of my traders get a little bit greedy trading this a lot, and then they go quiet randomly. And it's not because they're busy. It's not because they're on vacation. It's because they kept playing with the snake and the snake bit back. So I don't like to scare anybody, but you definitely should not be trading this every single day, every single week, and you definitely should not be swing trading it. And if you are, you need to go check your doctor. You might have lost 50% of your IQ. So please do not swing trade this. But just to kind of show the difference, yesterday started higher than previous day high, and that's because volatility was in favor of possibly moving higher. And then you can see here on SPY, Same exact positioning, same exact breakdown, except we didn't have that issue with being above previous day high and actually seeing price action hold. No, there was no price action holding. It was just straight drop. Go over here to SPY or SPX. You can see straight drop as well. Same consolidation phase, the exact same consolidation phase. The only difference between these two is the pacing. If you were ever in a drop or a rise or a consolidation phase in SPX, it is a lot more violent, it is a lot more volatile. So that's why you got to be very careful. You got to be very exact, very decisive. You can't just sit there and bullshit. You got to actually take action on whatever you're trying to do. And then Tesla. Let's go back to Tesla. Where's she at? This one has been following every line we've added to this chart. The only thing I fixed the other day was... no, we kept that. I think I just added the yesterday's open and that was it. Everything else I just kind of adjusted. But they are looking good above 310. Right now they're above that. So, of course, it's easy to say they look good for calls, but it's the first 10 minutes, so just be careful. But I do like that chart a lot. And if you need to, you can go back and screenshot that so you can save it. Good morning, though. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Carter. Good morning, VC. Good to see you both. If you guys missed it, we just went over SPX, SPY, and Tesla for just a few minutes each. So definitely check those out if you missed out. That water's so good. It's also something we've been tracking. Who's been part of my streams these past, last week and this week? Who's been part of these past 4 or 5 streams already? I genuinely have a question for you. Outside of SPY, SPX, Tesla, for anybody who is trying to answer this, what were the 3 tickers that we've been watching every single day religiously? I've been religiously watching these 3 on stream, covering their movements, the indifferences between them. And I'll get to that next. But I would love to see who's been paying attention. What are the 3 tickers I've been religiously going over outside of SPY, SPX, and Tesla? Because those are, of course, my everydays. Asa. Reading that felt right. Asa. Part of me was like after hours sa, and then the other part of me was like asa. Huge breakdown here on SPY. That's $1 drop almost. Actually, that's probably more than $1 now. That's a pretty significant dollar drop in the first 10 minutes. Again, has anybody been paying attention these past 5, 6, 7 streams? What are the 3 tickers that we've been religiously watching outside of SPY, SPX, and Tesla? Let's see the XL weights real quick. Tech down, bank sideways, discretionary slightly up. Healthcare down. Okay, so healthcare, comms. Actually, yeah, that might be it. Healthcare and comms and tech were the reason we just dropped just now. Which, if you go to SPY and you own Thinkorswim, you can also just look this up on Google. It's not rocket science. You can click Analyze. You can actually look right here, and there's a live update of the weighting system. So there's about 34% into tech. What were the 2 I said? Comms and healthcare. So comms would be right here. They're about 10%, and healthcare is crazy. It's 9%. This used to be the 2nd heaviest sector in the whole market, which is crazy. Now it's the 5th. So things do shift. I think we've seen tech go as high as 35%, 36% before. So 34% is not horrible. Financials are a really big amount now compared to before. Discretionary and services are pretty normal. But yeah, healthcare is the one that moved the most. They were like, I want to say they were like 12% at one point. And they were 2nd place. Maddie said UPS, Target, and Whirlpool. No, sir, that is wrong. The 3 tickers we've been watching religiously are tech related. That should have been the hint, actually. I should have given that hint. Apple is up on a huge move. They're up almost 3% this morning. The other one we've been watching with it is Microsoft, just because it's the other heaviest tech weight. And you can see they're taking a nice dip in the morning. So they're doing the exact opposite as Apple. And we've been covering that very, very closely. Every single move recently, they have been opposites. And NVIDIA has just been basically the little sister of Microsoft lately. It's just kind of been copying whatever the big sister does. Today, that's not the case. Today, they're actually holding on to the previous day low. They did take a little bit of a reversal just now to the downside, but they're still holding up from where they opened. So there is that little indifference between little sister and big sister today. And the biggest sister, she said, fuck both of you. I'm not paying attention to you. I mean, look at that. That's just crazy. So I think Apple might be the one reason we haven't fallen through the floor yet this morning, because there's every reason for why we should have fallen this morning on SPY. Tech weights went down. We had 2 big sectors fall down pretty significantly this morning, but we didn't budge on SPY. You know, a little bit of a, on the wrong chart, a little bit of a slowdown, but you know, it's not. This should be a way worse candle. The reason it's not is because of Apple. So I want everyone to understand that. But remember that for next time I ask, because those are the 3 that I've been religiously watching, outside of SPX, SPY, and Tesla, just because I love watching those. But they go pair and pair, and they help me with what I see on SPY as well. Because if these are doing something, well, I got to be paying attention, because these are 3 of some of the heaviest weights. NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, which is funny because these used to all be flipped. It was Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Avgo. And then it was Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA, Avgo. Now it's NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Avgo. It's crazy how they keep flipping around. But the same rule set, though, they're still the top 3. So it doesn't really matter. Just need to be paying attention. But UPS, Target, and Whirlpool are definitely good picks. For bigger time frames. I have a friend that's in the EU, and they have like a different market, and he can sometimes pick some stocks out from our market. And he was like, dude, what does your chat look at? And I was like, bro, the only 2 that you should give a shit about, or 3, I gave him 3. I said was DNUT, Bull, and UPS. Like, fuck every other stock. I was like, those are probably the 3 like most invested in my chat, at least. And he was like, oh, okay. That's how I talk to people, though. I don't sit there and be like, yeah, man, I know what I'm talking about. You should get this. You're going to be rich in 5 years. Thank me later. Like, you're not going to hear me say that. It's more or less just like, yeah, this is what my chat looks at a lot. This is what I like. Blah, blah, blah. It's not like I'm going to sit there and be like, yeah, man, invest in this. You'll be rich. No. You can be bullish or bearish, but you shouldn't be delusional. That's where I have a problem. I can't stand when people do that. Yeah, man, I'm in this stock, and I'm kind of, even if they're right, it doesn't matter. It's just like the point. I could sit there and say that too. I've made plenty of people retire in my chat off of like 3 tickers. There's like 4 or 5 people I could think of off the top of my head that have already just stopped trading because they've made enough. And it's funny because all they did, and it wasn't even through options trading. Options trading, like I said, is a tool. But Rocket Lab was one of them. Palantir is one of them. ET is another. You know, these are 3 really, really big tickers that we've called out in my chat over the past 5 years. It's not like this is something that we've just now talked about. So it's really funny when people say that shit to me. PayPal. PayPal is my other biggest one. I always forget about PayPal because it's like, it's so small in gains compared to the other 3. And this one did amazing. You know, we were buying this in the 60s. So, definitely not complaining. Which, I actually still like this a lot, by the way, guys. If you haven't, like, ever dipped into PayPal, I think it's crazy it's at the stock price. But yeah, so I could also sit here and brag about big wins and big gains and helping people get money and stuff like that, but it's just pointless, you know? When you have someone in here who's just now starting their journey and they hear that, they're going to be like, oh my god, I'm going to listen to everything this guy says. No, there's going to be some losses. We're definitely going to fuck up. I'm trying to think of the SPAC that we got into that fucked up. It was the quantum computing SPAC. It was whatever, the one for Google. Whatever that ticker was, though, we got fucked on that one. The only SPAC we made money on, actually, funny enough, was Rocket Lab. They were a SPAC at the beginning. If I remember correctly, at least. Pretty sure they were. And now we're looking at tickers like UPS, Target, Whirlpool. You know, these are three that we all like in the chat. I think these three especially. On top of that, of course, already we talked about the others, but these three as well, like Maddie mentioned. And it's not through, let me buy 10,000 shares right here where Bueller said. Like, no, we're just going to buy some shares here and there as time goes on. We're going to try to build up on it. That's the only way to approach it. That's the only way to potentially get a good investment going, is slowly investing over time, not dropping a fucking huge bag on it right here and hoping it goes up the next week. Like, no. That's some really bad mindset you got there if that's how you're thinking. Do you guys want equities on or off? I mean, the extended hours on or off? I can turn it off now that market's open a little bit more. Also, sorry if I'm talking a lot. Let me know if I'm talking too much. I'm just trying to make sure everything makes sense and we're going over different things. Drop a like on the stream, too, if you guys are in here. It helps out a ton. And thank you for joining. I wish I was around for the Palantir. It's all good, man. There's going to be more Palantirs. There's going to be more Rocket Labs. There's going to be more Energy Transfers. There's going to be more PayPals. I didn't even mention Roku to anybody in here. If you were in my chat the very first year, it's like the first year and a half, Roku actually got us so much money, it was not even fucking funny. People forget that Roku went to 500 at one point. But yeah, this was like the first year and a half of my chat. We kind of started like right here. We're leading into this year. Then we got into this year. Pretty awesome. Those were the good days. Because there was less groups, less people trying to actively trade, like openly, that is. It was just more fun. But fuck that. There's still more investments we can get into. Also, I'd like to remind everybody where we are in the daily time frame. It's pretty easy to forget where we are when we're zoomed in all the time. But you can actually see here we're not that far from where we dropped. We're actually at the middle point of where we dropped from. So we're really not that far. It's really good to remind yourself of that. And it's funny too, because look how we got two different charts, but we have a more updated style here on the one that we're looking at right here. And it's funny how those zones both line up, because that's an impactful area that needs to be tested. This decides direction. Good morning, Isaac. SPY update. SPY is going up right now. They're above today's open, and they're above the area that we believe to be the impactful area right now. But they haven't left the train station, if that makes sense. They haven't pushed away from this area. In any sense, that definitely gives you a sense of, oh, it's going to go up for a little bit, or it's going to go down for a little bit. No, it looks like it's still deciding. But it is trying to go up above today's open and the recent high, but we're still in this area. It's not really going anywhere yet. Ryaku! What's up, Ryak? Triple Q rejecting pre-market high. Thank you for that update, Nard. That's the kind of shit I like to see. Good update. No problem, Isaac. I'll let you know if anything changes. Hopefully. What's up, Ryak? How you been, man? Were you the one that was on vacation, or who went on vacation? There was like 2 or 3 people that went on vacation right after I got back. I was like, where is everybody? And then somebody was like, well, these guys went here and this guy went there. And I was like, oh, great. You're literally always on vacation? I love to hear that. You and Leland both, man. That's good to hear. No, I knew you meant. As much as you can. As much as you can outside of all the needed things. But I'm happy to hear that, man. I hope you're doing well. You probably are doing well. But I love that. I love that you're doing good. We got Ryaku, we got Carter, we got all my OGs in here. We got my Maddies in here. We got everybody. The lore goes deep with this group. That push-up was kind of weak. Yeah, it definitely was. Didn't even close over. Wicked it. That's crazy. And now this candle's already consuming. I'd really like to point out, though, that we would already be through the floor if Apple wasn't doing this. I would love to point this out, guys. So if this ever slows down and everything else is still doing what it's doing, I would expect larger drops to happen very soon. Again, just to point out the contracts that we called out earlier to watch, that you should definitely have on watch. Oh, it switched my screen. Hold up. For downside, if you are going to be looking at that, is 627. Once we get through that area, you could be looking at 626s. 628 is the juiciest contract, though. But 627, 626 are okay. If you do get any upside, we'll be looking at 631s through this, or 630s through the 632s. Sorry. I'm all over the place right now. So if you were looking at those SPY same-day scalps, that's what we were looking at, contract-wise. Anything outside of those, and I don't know if I trust them that much for movement. I'm going to turn, what's it called off? Nobody answered me, but I want it off. I was hoping somebody would be like, yeah, turn that shit off. Time axis 50. There we go. As you can see, I can click through TOS very quick. Which doesn't seem to mean anything in the trading world. Doesn't really matter how fast someone can go through their Thinkorswim. But clicking buy takes the same speed. Good morning, good morning, good to see you. Drop a like on the stream if you guys haven't already. It helps out a ton. Back below open. 629.57, that weekly outside bar we are stuck under so far. Oh, so we are under that point. I did take some time away, though, trying to get back into the swing of things. Oh, awesome. That sounds good. That's kind of how I felt last week, and a little bit less this week because I'm already warmed up from last week. But man, we were 4 out of 4 in call-outs last week. We're 2 out of 2 this week. I'm sticking to my strat. I'm sticking to just being a pussy. Being a pussy is getting us wins. It's like, just wait for, like, the most obvious shit ever, and then just trade it. Like, just be decisive. Which is a weird switch. It's a weird transition going from, I'm going to camp this corner to, I'm jumping in. You know, it's like, it's a completely different change of pace. But it's working, so I'm not complaining. You traded a SPY put? Damn, good shit. It looks like you won, because you said thanks. There's no thanks to me, man. If you did something, that's on you. Good for you. Sounded like you got in and out really quick, though, without getting screwed. IMW is at the 50% of yesterday. Ooh, that sounds juicy. Let me confirm with you just to see. He is correct. They are at the 50%, which let's be aware of that too. Let's delete that now. All right, so now we know there's a level there and the 50%. More important than the 50%. I've been enjoying the IWM chart too. I know it's not the one I switch to the most, but every time I switch to it, I have levels on it. It's not like I abuse it. But yeah, good looks though. Good looks. That's a great update. Good positional awareness. If you take note too, that's actually where we bounced twice yesterday. We had a low or a higher low of where we recovered from, and a second higher low. Also, whoever was in the end of my stream yesterday, did you guys see that worked out exactly how we said in the phases of the day? I've covered this pretty in depth. It's not just theory at this point. We're genuinely seeing this a lot. If you guys haven't seen this video, please go watch it. 3 phases of the day using probability. I have a more in-depth post inside of the BB Theory playlist, so if you have access to that, definitely don't ignore it. I think I actually discussed it in 2 videos in that playlist, but 1 is definitely for sure for it. But after we were done shorting yesterday, we started shorting after we saw this. We got down here, we chilled. I ended stream around here somewhere a little bit after 11, so somewhere around here. And we discussed, like, oh, okay, nice, this is a cool little bounce up, but we like to wait for the second one. We saw the second one, after the higher low into the lunch session. That's the most important part. This allows the day to go through a consolidation phase, whether that's building more higher lows or just kind of sitting to the right before moving up or down more. It doesn't really matter how it looks. That's just what you're looking for, is consolidation. You got that and some. They actually gave you some pretty good movement, and then they decided to sit here the rest of the day. So it actually creates a little bit of a chance for buyers going into the next day, if they can hold on to previous day close, get above the halfway point of previous day, so on and so on. You guys know all the bullshit, but it was just cool how well that worked out. And it's not something that I'm gonna be like, I called it out and I was right. Like, it's just like, no, we called it out because it's something that has a high probability of happening because of what we've seen recently, right? We're not really guessing. It's more or less just pointing out what should happen. So if anything outside of that happens, you can take that as, oh, okay, that's a little bit extreme, or, oh, okay, the chart's a little bit not extreme. It's not really moving too much. So you can kind of check the tone of the chart just based on that. But yeah, if you haven't seen those, definitely go check those out. It really is powerful information describing basically how you can split the day up into 3 based on the times I post in those videos. And then you can kind of break down what you're doing in between them. Almost smashed by. Almost smashed by. You did a 628. SPY looks like it's breaking out up as of now. It's trying to, that's for sure. We'll see, though. I generally am still in full belief the only reason we haven't seen a death drop is because of Apple. There's also a couple smaller weights you can see down here towards the bottom of my watch list that are holding up fairly well. Energy, XOM, Costco, Staple, MasterCard. They're actually looking bad now. Netflix, Walmart. So there's a couple things moving up as there's a couple moving down. And then you have Apple doing this. So it's like kind of stopping us from falling more. That's for sure. And then, of course, you had Tesla, too. They had a nice spike in the first 10 minutes that we covered, saying there is a chance they go up and smack this area, but we don't like to trade the first 10 minutes. But it was just a good show of strength, too. When people hear me say that, they're like, oh, I can't take a trade. I'll just ignore that. No, don't ignore it. Pay attention. It's a weight of the market. Pay attention to it. Wick, the PDCP, great update by Carter. Like the channel, guys. Do not forget. Thank you, VC. Let me check Discord. How's everyone doing? Oh, Leland's in there. Shoppa flying. That's so funny. Only Leland could say that. Shoppa flying. Oh my god. Just posting in chat, guys, saying SPY is still in the key area for direction. We don't have any direction yet. We're just still fighting inside of this highlighted area, which is pretty important. I have this on like 3 different charts. Pretty important, as you can see. It doesn't matter how I chart it. I end up getting 620, 630, and I end up getting this. I've been doing that a lot recently, too. I'd been like charting the chart twice. And then on two different charts, but on the same ticker. And I'll try to see, is there any like similarities between some of the macro and micro that I'm drawing? And there's a lot. And sometimes I'll just keep those similarities on the chart. So most of the time it's like a halfway point, though. It's almost always a halfway point. As much as I backtested that, anytime there's a level that lines up with something else or anything else I'm drawing, it almost lines up with the halfway point of a day, of a gap, of a drop, of a rise. It's always a 50% of something. It's crazy. I really am serious about that. I even have a video on it in the BB Theory playlist. There's a part in that where I'm like, You could literally just cheat and not draw any levels and just, or not draw as much levels and just have 50% of every day basically on your screen, and you would have insanely reliable information most of the time. I say most of the time because if you're just moving up or just down, you're not going to have that information. But I always thought that was insane. And it's funny too because the first time a midpoint was ever brought up, it was slept on in my community because we just didn't really back touch it as much. But someone did. Someone did in my group. Let me find that video. I don't even think most of you will remember this person because you probably weren't even around when he was here. But Harland. Honestly, Harland was ahead of his time. Here we go. Not only did he cover halfway points, midpoints, he covered how to project target prices forward, which is crazy because that's like fib extensions and stuff. Like, this wasn't even thought about. Neither was this. And it's just nuts. Because I always think about that now that I draw the chart the way I do, and I'm like, man, this guy was literally ahead of his time. February 4th, 2021. The day a legend was born. Yeah, most people that were in the chat at this time are not here right now. Some of them are a lot older. I've always had older people in my chat. I've almost never had like kids. So it's very rare when you get like a teenager or someone who's like just out of school or whatever. It's very rare. A lot of the time you get a grown up. In my chat at least. I don't know about other groups, but just insane, dude. I mean, he covered every literal basic midpoint we could think of. He even made a scripted indicator that would draw it for you. And it's just like, Jesus. And now, that's information you and me are using if you're in my group. This is something we're using every day. What's up, Lag to Death? Good to see you, man. It's always a good death when Lag is here. I did not mean to say it like that. Good morning, Alexis. How is it over there in your side of the town, Alexis? What's the weather like today? I don't know about y'all, but here down in the south, in Texas, it was feeling really good yesterday. I don't even know where that wind came from. I don't even need to know. I want more of it. That literally made living outside not hell. We get more of that, I'd like it. Good morning, good morning. If anybody needs anything repeated, anything covered, any chart looked at, let me know. If you guys have any updates, feel free to share them in the chat, in the YouTube stream chat thing. I'm trying to post that Discord link more because the new one keeps getting moved. I saw that, Carter, and I didn't want to mention it. I saw that, and I didn't want to mention it. I was like, I don't even want it to know that I saw it. I did see that, though. It's up 3.37% right now. No, you're good. You're good, Carter. If you guys mention it, it feels natural because it's like, okay, they're bringing it up too. But my eyes are locked on it. Here, let me close my thumbnail for a second. You'll see. Here it is. At the top of my screen real quick, do you see where it says D-Nut and then Bull? I just leave those there. I'm like, I'll always watch them. I used to have Coin up there because I love watching Coin, which I'm glad I said that. I need to put Coin right here. This one's going to be a good swing soon, guys. And if not, we're going to be day trading the fuck out of this. This one fell off a cliff. But rightfully so. Bitcoin did have a little bit of a pullback. And Coin is known to have more volatile reactions to that. Because this does look like it's about to just fall off the cliff a little bit more unless it recovers soon. Like, it looks like it almost needs to go down to this area. Somewhere right here. But that's why you have such a harsh reaction on Coin. It's always that way. Anytime Bitcoin barely goes up, Coin's like, I gotta go up. So its consolidation phases can be very annoying, but once it starts moving, it can be really enjoyable. But I just like watching Coinbase too. Weird fact about me. Let's see how those contracts are doing. I want to see how the 627 and 628 are doing. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Not 627, 628. The 631, 632, 633. Or no, 630 to 632. I guess that's what we're looking at. 632 is not doing too bad. 631 is doing really good, which is what we thought. It had that extra gamma. I wouldn't say this looked super good until on the 5 minute until we got this higher low, and then when you go down to your 1 minute to make your decision to find where you do want to get in, I would say it didn't look good until we got over this right here. So past 5 minutes, I would say have been very clear, and everything else has been to set this up. Also, now that we're on the 1 minute, I would love to review this with you. So just to kind of go over how could we have zoomed in and inspected this and say, are we still bullish or bearish? Well, we know that we're bullish because we're holding this zone still. It's just not that pretty, right? As we've been saying all stream. But what is this, guys? And I don't even care if you say the different term or say my term or say whatever term, but what is this? What is this? What is this? I don't even want to give y'all a hint because then it's just too easy. Do you guys know if Apple did that announcement yet? I'm not sure, but the stock price is sure acting like it. You would think they cured cancer. They're up almost 4% this morning. The 90%, exactly. The liquidity grab. Now, there's also one thing to take note as well, and I like to mark this differently just to kind of like remind myself when I'm reviewing. But we have that opening price right there. So let's just remember that. Remove that. So we have our low. We have an established low. I mean, at the moment, we don't know that. In the future, we know it. From that low, we have a higher low. What happens at the today's open? The same thing that happened here. It's kind of funny looking. So that's why I was saying I didn't really like it till this candle, because as soon as I zoomed in and I saw that, I was like, you probably wouldn't have made that decision till this candle, and even then it would have been a little bit iffy. So I'm really not even worried about not entering that yet. But it does look really good for more upside on that 5 minute chart. Let me remove all this junk. There we go. Oh, and this one. So if you ever feel like you missed out, don't just sit there and be like, fuck, I missed it. Like, go from the 5 to the 1 minute, zoom in and see what price action popped up. Go left to right like I did. Read the context. Get to where the current price is eventually. Don't go straight to the meat and go, oh, there's a liquidity grab here. There was this here. There was a higher low here. Like, dude, no. You got to start from the open. Work your way around. Or work your way to the right. Work your way around. We wish. I'm curious now, too. Since Apple hasn't given off any of its strength, do these other ones that fell just finally catch up? Because I'm seeing a lot more green on my screen. Remember all these? These were all red earlier. Well, most of these were red earlier. They're doing really well right now. So Apple might have actually not just held us above our head above water. They might have literally grabbed our fucking shoulders and threw us out of the water. And we're now just sitting in heaven. But yeah, so we might actually be getting the opposite of what we initially thought, based on the weights. And that's it. I don't even have to look at anything else. That's already kind of telling me everything I need to know. Insane movement by the market. Small caps might get some love here, guys. They tend to be a little bit late to the party, so pay attention to that one. If we end up getting a dip, check this out. If we end up keep ripping, I would check IWM out because it might get some late love. SPX still holding pretty well. SPY. We'll sit here for a second so you guys can get a good look at it. How's SPY looking? I'm going to it now. So it is moved a lot more away from the open to go to the upside. It's moved away from our highlighted zone to the upside. So we're looking really good for bulls, a lot more so than we were earlier. I was just recently discussing why the weights might help us push more or why they might slow us down. So you could really just keep watch on some of your top weights. That left side watch list, just kind of take a gander here and there. See if we get stronger, see if we get weaker. But right now, looking good for bulls still. But we are at a recent lower high of where we dipped down from yesterday. So we'll see if we struggle here or not, or if we are going to make it up to that 631 barrier. This is what I just say it expecting y'all to understand what I'm talking about. This spot right here, I'm just kind of watching that because this is a lower high of where we fell from. It's not that significant, but still something there. So I'd just like to take note. We're not looking too bad so far. Bulls should make it up to 631.09, 631.30s. If we end up stopping out here, it wouldn't surprise me if we went back down to today's open. That would be the highest probability scenario. So not a horrible morning, just a little bit weird feeling. Not as great as yesterday. I will 100% be the first person to say that. Yesterday was amazing. Yesterday was easy mode. This feels difficult compared to yesterday. IWM is currently at the yesterday's open. Good call out, Nick. I'm really liking your updates, man. Not like a paragraph of information. You're just pointing out the impactful area that we're at right now. Keep it up. Keep it up. And let me know what contracts you look at if you end up getting into anything. You don't have to actually call out what you're looking at. Just what contract you think best suits you for what you're looking at. If you want to, you don't have to. It's just fun to also put that out. Because the next day or the next time you go to look at it, you might have a better reference point on what you recently saw compared to what you're seeing then. Or do that in your head. At least do it in your head. How was everyone's, now that everyone's here, how was everyone's sleep last night? Everyone get some good rest? Did you wake up a bunch? Do you sleepwalk? Did you rob a bank in your sleep? You know, how was everyone's night? It was Tuesday. We're in Wednesday now. So we're kind of in the middle of the week now. Tonight, I will repost the SPY levels. I'll clear my chart and redraw them again. I've been doing that every week recently, where for the first half of the week, I'll have a clean chart, and I'll keep going off of that. I'll add on to it, delete stuff if I need to. And then after Wednesday is over, then I reset my chart for the midweek prep. Just because it's been really helpful. It's been really nice. I think it helps keep like a fluid memory of what the chart is in front of you. What are some impactful areas? And it's funny too, because you should be zoomed in on the 5-minute and still kind of understand what's going on your bigger time frames, even without looking, just because you should have a better idea of what's going on. Not because you're checking a lot, but because you've updated and you've given yourself the fair amount of recaps that you need each week or each day. So it's just, you just have good memory of what the chart's doing. It was good. Nice, JD. Glad to hear that. I like to ask just because, sleep is pretty important. I've been taking this new sleep medicine. It's pretty powerful. I used to get up like 16, not joking, I'm not even exaggerating. I used to get up like 16 times in the night. I think I got up like once last night. It was fucking awesome. It's so weird to my body still. I still wake up a bunch, but I go back to sleep really quick now. I don't even know what it is. I genuinely don't know what's wrong with me, but I don't really care. But this medicine's been really nice. I hate doing that too. I'm the kind of guy that hates taking like daily medication. It's really annoying to me. I also just don't like. I don't morally agree with it. It's kind of amazing to me that that's how most of us function now. But it's just what it is. It's just how the human body is. We're just prone to damage inside and out. What's the sleep medicine? Fuck, what is the name? It's like a long ass name. It's from a doctor. It's not like I go to the store and buy this. Trazodone. I would ask your doctor about it. It helps with a little bit of anxiety too, but that's not why I get it. I have bipolar disorder, by the way, if anybody in here doesn't know that. It's not. Sometimes I get it from my mom. Sometimes I get it from a doctor. My bipolar is really bad, though. So it's just really hard for me to sleep. I don't know what it is. I probably have insomnia or something, but I just haven't gone to a doctor to see if I have sleeping issues. But I definitely do have some sort of issue, and whatever I took definitely helped. But yeah, it's weird, man. You're like, the only thing that sucks about this medicine though is it makes your mouth really dry. So I get up, like if I do get up in the middle of the night, my like super tired ass walks over to the water thing, puts some water in my cup, and then I just down a whole fucking cup, and then I just go back to sleep. That is the only downside. That's a really, really good downside compared to other, what it could have been. But I'm not joking. I literally, like, I've counted a couple times, but I've literally gotten up 16 to 20 times in a night before, and not off of like, oh, I'm on my phone, or I'm on my iPad, or I'm looking at something, or I'm eating, or this or that, or drinking something. Like, no, I'm literally laying there on whatever side trying to physically fall. I'm trying my best to sleep, and I can't. So I don't take it every night though. I've only been taking it before if I stream the next day, just because it really puts me in like a good mood to like be awake, be alert. Also, it's not like melatonin. If you've ever taken melatonin, you wake up that next day and you're drowsy as fuck. I can't stand that feeling. This medicine doesn't do that. Smoke a J. If only you knew me. Stop it. React. Got up twice because I drank too much water. Yeah, that'll sometimes happen too, but that's not bad. Like getting up to go to the bathroom because you drank too much is like a complete. That's fine. Like I can deal with that. I've done that a fair amount of times though. I'm a heavy water drinker. I love water. Like I'm not like your average person. I really love water. Ever since I was a kid, too. It's never changed. There's a soda and a water in front of me. You're going to see me reach for the water. Is it lack of tiredness or racing brain? I think it's racing brain mixed in with something else. I just don't know. I'm genuinely just stupid when it comes to this. But I just know every night it feels like a different reason. But it's all good now. I ain't complaining. I also don't like to rely on that medicine, so that's why I haven't been taking it every single day. I just take it for a couple days during the week. On the weekend, I'm all natural. 100% me. By the way, guys, we are down again from that heavy dip on the 5-minute that just recently happened. I think this has to do with some of the weights we saw, like Eli Lilly, Visa, UNH, Google, Goog, Meta, Microsoft are back in the red. Most of those went to the green for a second. As well as the mixed movement by Apple. Apple was up over 4% just now. They're down to 3.8. So could have just been a little bit of a cough. Who knows? But we'll see here. This, I'm not joking. Right here where this candle is testing, just below its feet, this is the most important part of the chart for the day. So as ugly as this looks right now, it is trying its best to hold. If we don't get a good hold and it leads to a liquidity grab, we probably will make a nice dump. So I guess you should want that scenario to happen, but the uglier this price action is, it's probably the better for bulls. So it's a weird little chart we're looking at today, I'm not gonna lie. I think if I was to buy the dip here, I would get the... Somebody asked this. If you were to long this, you should probably get the 630 or 631. Don't go any farther. If we're looking to short this, if we get any kind of like movement down and under the break of 628.40s after that, and that break of today's open, probably going to be looking at the 627, 628s. So those are the two different directions and contracts we're looking at for whatever we get here. So far, it's still bullish by a hair. So I'd like to keep that clear. I don't know who's shorting or not. I don't care. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just pointing out the facts on the chart. We are a little bit more bullish than bearish based on positioning. But that could change very quickly because we are right next to that highlighted area. So you could say, oh, it's good risk reward. Yeah, it's also just very risky because you're literally right where it could dump. So until I see more bullish price action, I don't trust that yet. Just because we're right there next to the risk area. I give my dog trazodone, you dog. I got that dog in me. What's your thoughts on IWM with the rejection of yesterday's open? Sorry, man, for taking so long to get to your question. This looks directionally bearish. I don't mean to be that guy. Directional wise, it looks bearish. You're under the open, and without even drawing the fib from this move to here, and the reason you're doing that is from high to low. I was gonna say it feels like it's at the 50%. So it's under the open, it's under this next level, it's under the 50% of this recent dip. The only thing that's holding it up is the halfway point, which is where it's already tested. So it's sitting between a bullish spot and a bearish spot. It kind of feels like SPY actually, except a little bit different. So directional from the open, it's bearish, but it's literally already tested the level that it's going to test if it goes down, which it just did. So now you're looking for a break of this level / area. I know that's annoying. You're probably going to wait a little bit longer. I hate telling people that too, because they're like, fuck, he's being so boring, telling me to wait. What the hell? Sorry. Waiting is 90% of what you're going to do. You should really only be trading a very small amount of your time. But yeah, but that's what it looks like to me, Nick. You let me know if you see anything different or if you want to add anything onto that. You've been doing good with your updates, though. I do appreciate that. I haven't seen anything that you've said that's been like, yo, what the fuck, bro, chill. Like, no, you're fine. One thing that has helped me, I forget to do it consistently, is remind myself that even if I'm not sleeping, I'm in bed resting, and often I'll fall back asleep. Wow, really? The thought relaxes you. You're literally just tricking yourself. That's awesome. Maybe that's what I should do. I'll just be like, I'll just like wake up and I'm like, you know what, man? Maybe you're not sleeping, but damn it, you're in a bed. You're not standing. I will say also this one thing I purchased last night was my first time sleeping on it, was this like thing you put over your bed. It's like it's weird. It makes your bed feel like a cloud. And last night, man, ooh. See, guys, that's why you don't trust one candle holds on a 5-minute chart. See? Being boring pays off. Boring Bueller called that out. And you shouldn't be trapped. I just don't see anything there that I like yet for bulls. Yes, it looks good, but the timing isn't the greatest. We're seeing more weights go red. We're seeing Apple not up 4% anymore. They're actually closer to 3.5% now, so I've almost lost 0.5% of movement on that chart. And remember what I said. That is the one weight that's keeping us from dying today. We should have already seen a death drop today. But Apple kept us up. I'm just being honest. Not trying to scare anybody, not trying to piss anybody off. That's just the facts. Apple is moved a lot this morning. That's going to dictate direction somewhat. Look into Gorilla Dream for an OTC, over-the-counter. It helps me on sleepless nights. I know you're not complaining about it, but always here to spit. No, you're good. I love the back and forth, dude. When it comes to you guys, you don't have to worry about that. I love y'all's feedback. It's not like I'm going to be like, fuck that, React. I'm already fine, dude. Screw you. I got my sleep. I don't need yours. You know, I'm open to anything, because what if I run out, you know? What if I run out of my stuff? Scratch his arm profusely. Done my fair share of research on how to calm the mind and body. I know. I think I've read a couple posts from you in the past, actually. There's actually a few people like you in the chat. Y'all just haven't connected. Some of you are, most of them aren't active anymore, but I had a few people just like that before, and they would go over that stuff. And I swear to God, those people know what they're talking about. Some people are always like, oh, these weird spiritual people are weird. But it's like, man, they end up finding some pretty nifty tricks, though. like that, like what you just said, calming your mind and body, like going back to sleep. It's kind of funny, too, because Alce just mentioned something, not exactly like that, but just the whole, like, tricking your mind into staying relaxed. Like, that's kind of funny. But it probably fucking works. I'm going to have to try that out. Anytime I'm struggling in the future, I'm just going to be like, you're in a bed. You're fine. You're comfortable. You're on a cloud floating across the Pacific. Yeah, shit like that. What's up, Alexis? Good to see you, bro. Or is Alexis saying he's one of those? I love those kind of people. Because they're in tune. They're in tune. Gorilla Dream sounds like a crazy strain of weed. I'll have to... I'm writing it down right now, though, in case. Yeah, I already have to do breathing techniques. I already do that because I have bipolar. I have these moments where I feel like I'm about to explode. So I do these like breathing techniques and they help. That shit works. Don't let anybody tell you it doesn't. There's those guys in the Navy SEALs who do breathing techniques to breathe longer. It's fucking crazy. There's some insane breathing techniques. But this one just kind of like calms you down and lets you breathe. It lowers your heart rate. But not by a lot, just a little. It goes from like, oh my god, I think I'm hyperventilating to, yo, I can breathe. So, it's not bad. I'm thinking of taking a short on IWM as it's testing under the PDCP in the open. No, that's not bad at all. I also like that as well, guys. A cool little trick that's from way back in the day that React still to this day abuses, and it still works no problem, is waiting for the first 30 minutes or going to your 30-minute candles and just tracking them. It's really easy. Gives you a good separation on the chart, potentially a good direction. And the 15-minute, too. 15 minutes really good just to kind of look at. Breathing techniques along with telling my body every cell is relaxed always help. Damn. Yeah, that's why I don't question that stuff, man. Because I used to be like, man, that shit's gay. And then I did a breathing technique, and I was like, whoa, that fucking worked. I was like, okay, this stuff isn't bad at all. This is pretty cool. No, 100% though. 100% works. Calling something gay in the year 2025. Yes, we just did that. Because I think we all know what I meant. I don't think we have anybody that's going to get their feelings hurt. You heard that, YouTube? No one's feelings are hurt. It's crazy. We call it sus. Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm getting old now. How old are you, Lag? Prepare to feel old, people. Oh, he's 27. Never mind. Never mind. You're in my age group. I'm 29. 27. I would not have guessed that, Lag. I know you've probably told me in the past. Actually, no, I should be able to guess that. You've literally, like, lived 2 different lives before being here. Yeah. That's, like, just under 30 age. When you talk to someone and it feels like they've had 2 lifetimes of experience in things, that's someone who's around 30. He said, yeah, I can't handle the youngins. They be too loud. You're older than Google? How old is Google now? Oh, fuck. I'm older than Google. Google came out in 98? That's crazy. Me and my homies that were born in 95. We got any other people in here that were born in 95, or am I just a loner in here? Guys, by the way, the bearish tone has picked up. Apple also went back up again, so I think that's why, again, we're not seeing that death drop. I know I keep alluding to that, but it's just facts. Like, if you go to these weights, all of these have been performing somewhat, and then some of them dip back down. But Apple literally did that same thing. It just every time it's dipped, it's gone back up again. So it is destroying a little bit of the timing on some of these SPY moves. We were only correct about one thing, not going long here. That's the only thing we've been correct about today. I haven't really taken action on anything. And we talked... That's not what I want to see. And we talked about bulls somewhat having a chance once we started doing this, but this just kind of like
set us back to stage one, to step one. So that's the only thing we've been correct about today. I just wanted to point that out. We'll see if we get any kind of movements outside of this area. They're looking so freaking good. They just are just a hair outside of that zone. So it's like holding us there to where it doesn't feel right to short it yet. SPX actually looking good for dip buys, as much as I hate to say that. So we'll see if volatility follows that chart and SPY catches up. But that actually looks really good for dips. Also, this went down below 3.5%. We just went back over 4% again on Apple. Oh, damn, Apple. You're really being a hard one today, aren't you? Tesla doing pretty good, too. We mentioned this going up, and if they were to go up, they'd probably hit this area. That's all the mention I did. I didn't actually call out a play. Also, I don't recommend you guys trading that because it just went straight up in 20 minutes. As cool as it'd be to be in that chart, you shouldn't be trading the first 5 minutes. 5 minutes is really where I draw it. 5 and 7 minutes, it's just like, that's crazy to me. I can maybe understand getting in the end of that second 5-minute candle, but even that's like, it's not the highest of probabilities. Yo, whoa. Why weren't we looking at Costco? I'm going to tell Rob to go peep it. And that's why you check daily charts, everybody. Walmart, I'm genuinely not surprised. I've been waiting for you to get back up. You've been kind of failing us lately. As a country. As a country that heavily relies on McDonald's inside of Walmart, you're failing us. By the way, I think... Oh, wait, no. MRK was what I posted yesterday. We'll see if that gets some better higher low movement today. Which that's still kind of what we're waiting on. I'm just peeping these real quick just to remind myself some of the daily setups we had. Holy shit. There's $10 Oklo. Bro calls that out like every Thursday and Friday. And then Monday, like clockwork, just shows up. And he's like, alright, who banked? Lamb Weston getting absolutely screwed, which we love. We want this to come down so we can get shares. We love Lamb Weston, but we only love it at certain stock prices. Lamb Weston is the producer for potatoes for McDonald's. And I think they're the global leader in potato producing. Oh yeah, this is what Leland mentioned earlier. He's up really big on this on his shares. Really, really good chart for him. Whirlpool, we like Whirlpool. Every time I see this ticker, man, I think of I think of Nard, Nard, because I see NRD. I'm like, dude, Nard has his own ticker. Bill, Amat. Whoa, this looks really good for shorts. Why did I miss this? Damn. If I would have checked that at the end of the day yesterday, I would have probably called out shorts on a swing. That looked really good. Oh, that's the last one. I was like, why can't I go down more? Apple, you sly dog. You really saved the market from dying today. Or this morning. I really do tie this into the mixing of weights and the timing. And you guys really got to get that down. You guys really got to start looking at that more. If you don't understand your SPY weights and you're looking at SPY, you need to start looking at them. Or at least understanding how they work. Right? And it's pretty easy. It really is. Have like a seesaw in your head, right? There's a left side, there's a right side. If weight's on one side, the other side goes up. If weight goes back down the other side goes back up. They even up a little bit. And that's how the weights work. If I have 10 SPY weights in front of me, and 9 of them are all down 1%, what is the SPY chart probably doing? It's probably down. Unless what? Unless that one is up like 20%. Or if it's the heaviest weight in the market and it's up a couple percent. Which is kind of like today. You have Apple, who's not as heavy as Microsoft and Nvidia, but they are the top three together in the tech sector. And they're the heaviest in the market. And Apple being up 4%, it's actually up 4.2% now. It might be enough for a day where Microsoft and Nvidia aren't down a crazy amount. And yes, we do have a scattered couple of weights over here on this left side, red and green, that are down and up. So most of them are sideways for the most part, but a couple of them are up really well now. Walmart's up 2%, Tesla's almost up 3%. So Apple's not working alone now. It was in the beginning. And there's less red weights everywhere. So in our head, SPY should be a little bit more green than red, right? And that's how you guys got to think about this. And on the fly, it's really helpful. And honestly, anybody on the 1 minute or the... No, yeah, that's it. Anybody on the 1 minute today probably ate really well. The 5 minute, definitely not as great today. So it looked like today was one of those days where you definitely should have had both time frames open, but I didn't. And we have another liquidity grab in the same exact spot we did the first time. That's insane. So it does look like bulls are trying their best to hold on to this area at 628.40. This seems very bullish from there, which we already knew that. We already talked about the significance of this highlighted area. So it's not news to us. It's just bad timing on a couple of these dips. But also it's been easy to make use of these weights on the left side to kind of remind ourselves, are we more green than red, you know? I need to make that ticker. You can actually make a ticker, your own ticker, your own weight. I gotta remember how to do it. I think you do asterisks, then the ticker, then the asterisk, then the weight size. I need to get one that adjusts, though. That would be cool. Because I would love to watch that on like the side or a small chart in the top left or top right. Because that genuinely is so cool how easy it can be when you're watching weights. Now, it's not always that way, but it definitely can help on some occasions. That's what you need, full port on NRD. Oh, what's up, Rob? My bad, you're in here. I was tagging you on, what's it called? Discord. I can't even think of damn Discord's name. It's under the 200 MA? Oh, I didn't know that. Damn. Makes sense, though. It did have a lot of dipping for a long period of time, not just like a week. So that makes sense. My bad, though. I just caught that. That's all I need. Full port NARD. That's what we like to see. But it's trying to close above the 8 and 21. Yeah, I look like short term it was like fine, but yeah, no, I actually 100% agree with what you said. I love that you're looking at those EMAs. Because that instantly draws a better picture in my head. I'm like, oh, okay. Because when I looked at it, I just saw a really good high or low in a good spot based on that left side. So positioning, it looked beautiful is why I was reacting that way. That makes sense, though. That makes sense, though. Under the 200, but trying its best to get above those short-term EMAs to maybe give us a move up soon for a short-term swing. And that's generally why I was reacting, but it's also crazy that it's under 1,000. Good info, though. Good info. I like that. I like how you said that, too. It could actually get spicy in a few days based on that short-term EMA info. But also good info in that 200, because I didn't know. Checking out the XLI sector at the moment, watching MMM for potential calls above 150. Dude, you're locked in. Okay, so they're not like a significant weight, but they are definitely a weight. And honestly, I think I'm just going to do what Rob just did. I think I'm just going to cheat. You have yours set to the 8. I have mine set to 9. It's not that big of a deal. I don't care about those. I want to know short term what these look like. So the big thing with me is being... And that's why I'm really happy Rob said that too. Because I really am really big on the whole you need to be above the 9 and 21. And I really love charts where the 9 and 21 or 8 and 21 even... where the 21 is like really far away, but you're above the 8 or 9. Those make for the best swing trades. In this instance, that's not the case, so I can't even say that. But that reminded me of it. I do like the positioning on that chart, though, on MMM. I think it looks a lot better than it did recently. I also really like this loss and retake of this short-term area. I think this is what I'm most excited about for that. The fact that they lost it, retook it within a few sessions. So this could be a good higher low to pop back up into these highs right here. And then, honestly, what is halfway of this candle? Okay, way up there. So if it does get moving, that could be a good thing to watch. And here, let me add this to this one, because I go through this one at the end of each day on my own. Because I like to watch whatever anybody else in chat's watching. I like to be aware of it somewhat. So if somebody's like, yo, I've been like Sand Dollar, for instance. Sand Dollar is a really good example. He watches Oklo a lot, but he's not like he's trading it every single day. So I keep it on a watch list and I go through it every day to see if I can line up with his timing. See, oh, he likes it here. Let me see if I can find a reason to like it. So it's just kind of like a fun practice I do with myself. I do that with a lot of tickers you guys share. Like, I've done it with Maddie before he went to Futures. I've done it with Username a shit ton, because he just has insane posts. Probably one of the best posters in the chat. Mike T for sure. MMM reminds you of Noxta and Ulta. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's a good one. I'm glad you said that. Noxta and Ulta was like bread and butter, dude. It was just, oh my god. That man was different. It's funny, too, because I remember when he first started swing trading and he was using like the different strats we use. He would find a lot on his own, but I remember I was the big Ulta guy originally. And I remember one conversation we had where he's like, I don't even know why you trade that. And then he started looking at it more, and there were setups, and every single setup he called that on it was like huge and a really big gain. And, no, he kicked ass on that. He's busy with school and stuff, and he honestly, Noxta's been grinding. I'm glad you brought his name up. Noxta is someone that I can think of, and it like motivates me a little bit. It's weird, but Noxta's genuinely just like kind of a badass. He's like a few years younger than me and everything. He's fucking awesome. No, we love Noxta. That's one of those guys that'll kick your shit into gear, man. Like, if you're ever, like, are down or depressed, like, he'll be like, fuck that, get up, you know? He'll push you. He'll push you to be better. But, yeah, that's a good mention. That's a very good mention. Immediately, dude, I was dead ass about to do that too. As soon as I was done with that thought, I was like, man, I need to look at that chart. No, this is like seriously one of the craziest swing charts. You know, maybe we should add this back. There you go. I would do just the EMA strat on this one. Like, you can add levels and stuff too, but I would do the EMA strat. It's really easy, and it's very reliable. And also, it just gives you a good rule of thumb of when you're wrong. And holy shit, is Webull really closer to 16 than it is 15 now? Am I reading that chart right, guys? Does that really say 7%? 7.34%? I gotta rub my eyes for it. I'm doing that. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Clearing my eyes. 7.5% almost. That is fucking massive. It's funny too, because we're all like, anybody who's in it with us, we're like getting hyped every time it goes up. We were hyped back here. We were hyped here. We're hyped now. I need to extend these a little bit, it looks like. There we go. Now I got something to look at. Oh my god, dude. SPY still kicking ass on the upside. Apple, guys, just look at Apple. Guys, just look at Apple. I said 4.2%. We're closer to 4.5. It is above 4.5%. Letter Buck, and you are correct. It is a kicker. I honestly thought I was going to have to correct somebody when I saw that typed, but you are correct. That is a kicker. And then I'm looking at Garden's update too. She said it's like those double inside bar days. Like, that is absolutely disgusting. I just now realized that. You know what's crazy too? This day is inside of that. This day is inside of that as well. So you got 2 days inside of this candle on the left side that's consumed. And then on the right side you have another 2 candles consumed by this candle here. This candle's consuming 4 candles, 2 on each side. Actually kind of crazy to see. Maybe this was needed from Apple. After earnings, too, so it's a better sign than if we still had earnings in front of us. I'm not joking. That's the one thing I think that saved us from falling off a cliff this morning. Does anybody agree or disagree? I think Apple is the big key factor today, and I'm glad we cover it every day because it just is important. We cover Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA. I'm kind of glad I asked that stupid, fun little quiz question earlier, too. That happened to line up perfectly. But yeah, if you guys have anything to add or question or agree or disagree with, let me know. Always happy to see the updates. Please, SPY update. Is RSI oversold or overbought? I don't watch RSI. If you've ever watched my streams, I don't watch RSI. RSI is a scam. It just doesn't work that well. There's other ways to find out if something's overbought or oversold. But no, it's not overbought or oversold right now. That you really should pay attention to your weights, Isaac, if you're going to be in here. RSI is going to throw you off a lot, no matter what you edit or what parameters you adjust on the indicator itself. It's also an indicator. It's going to be lagging. It's laggard. It's going to be late. If you're sitting here trying to scalp trade, why are you looking at things that are laggard? That's my question. Rhetorical question. You don't have to actually answer it yourself. It's just like kind of answers itself. But genuinely, like, you should look at the weights. I think the weights would help you out a lot more. Make a list on that left side like I did, or whatever you have, and go to SPY. What are the top weights? Put them on that watch list. Or you could have the XLs like this, bottom left. Sorry, I'm moving my mouse. And you can get a really good breakdown of what these are. So here's tech. Here's banks, here's discretionary, here's healthcare, here's comms, here's staples. I actually need to adjust these right now. Let's do that together. So we got tech, banks, discretionary, services are above healthcare. Go back to SPY, you mother trucker. So we got discretionary, comms, healthcare, discretionary, comms, healthcare. And then we have industrials, staples, which I don't have industrials on here. We'll leave these two down here. They don't need to be in perfect order, but the reason they're down here is because staples is like the opposite of the market. So let's say tech falls through the floor. A lot of the time you get a little bit of a resurgence on the XLP chart, and that's because it's staples. It represents staple companies, companies that we can't live without. So sometimes when you get that, it's just good to have that on. And then I have energy on for fun because we've been calling out energy stocks for years now, so I just like to have it on. No real reason. So the mainly reason is to have the first 5 on. If you want to have it on like that. If you want to watch the individual weights themselves, I'd have to adjust this list, but I'm just going to leave it as the same. It's the same weights, but some of them are switched around a little bit. Like Avgo is way up here now. Apple's actually lower than Microsoft and NVIDIA. NVIDIA is actually the heaviest right now, believe it or not, on the SPY. But yeah, sorry. I'm like trying to catch my breath. A lot of yapping. But I really hope that helps. I really do. Because if you're trying to sit here and make like quick short-term trades, you need to be looking at quick short-term indications, not laggards. But I do appreciate your updates, Isaac. I'm not trying to push you away. I do appreciate your updates and you asking for what the hell's going on. I do appreciate that. Shut up, lag. Someone ban lag. You still got time to jump on bull, fellas? Oh, yeah, you have plenty of time. I don't know if I'd jump in today, but it is still at the part of the chart where you should be thinking as a long-term investor, not, I'm going to get $4 movement from this. You know, you shouldn't be thinking about short-term gains right now on that kind of chart. Like you said, Alexis, should just be thinking about opportunity. No problem, Isaac. Thank you for being here. Again, I would have been a dick if you were like somebody in here who's like being like aggressive, but I've never seen you like that. You're always just, hey, SPY update. Hey, chart man. Hey, chart man, give me my update. You know, that's fine. I'll be your chart. If you have anything to add on to that too, you let me know. I'm always happy to hear things. I'm not just looking to only output. I love the input. It was above $50 at one point. Wait, what was? Oh, on Bull. Yeah, Bull was, yeah. I was already excited about the play, but then I saw what Rob said about the rumors of PDT, and I instantly was like, wait, what? Like, mouth just started watering, you know, just jumping up out of my chair, head hitting the ceiling, you know, it's like, that was like news that I'd never even heard of before. So when I heard that rumor, I was like, okay. If that ever happens, the stock price of Robinhood, Webull, pretty much most brokers are going to like double. Maybe not Robinhood, considering they've been on some generational run. Maybe they'll just like 1.5x. Did you see the chart that you posted last night in regards to NVIDIA? I did, actually. I did. I'll pull it up here on stream if you want. I did, though. Oh, I gotta scroll. Why are there people typing in the morning? It's this one, right? It's the one that was like on the screen and it was like showing the differences between the weights and stuff. Dude, I've literally been going over this for years. This is insane to me. This is something I've personally gone over for years. Hold on, let me open this in the browser, not on Discord. There we go. By the way, SPY's just kicking ass right now, guys. That second liquidity grab is all she needed. So this image right here is pretty crazy. Or let me open this up a little bit more. It needs to be zoomed in a little, though. So this is NVIDIA. This is XLI, or the industrial sector, and this is XLV, or the healthcare sector. So you have two pretty key sectors, and I've discussed this recently, even in today's stream, the indifferences on healthcare losing some, because it used to be the second heaviest weight in the entire market. It was only behind tech when I started trading. Years later, it's now the 5th, 6th heaviest weight in SPY. It's not even number 2, not even close. It's barely like 9% or 10% of SPY now. Industrials, this one's pretty normal. It's just kind of like a good median because it's kind of a boring one that doesn't really move around a lot. So you'll see it just kind of stick to the same weight size most time. So this is actually pretty common. And then here's NVIDIA. NVIDIA was nowhere near any kind of important or impactful weight, even on its latest generational runs that you and me were so used to a couple years ago. Now you look at it and it's like, holy shit. And then today in this stream, it's kind of funny seeing that because I've gone over that a few times in the past couple streams, that the weights on SPY have adjusted like crazy. You know, it was always Apple, Microsoft, and then NVIDIA and a bunch of other stuff, right? Now it's NVIDIA as the king, Microsoft is in second, and Apple is in third, which mind-blowing to people like us because that's not what we're used to. But yeah, it's really fun to look at this stuff because it really shows you like, and then financials in my head have always been like a fourth or fifth place weight. They're now second place by over 2%. Banks are now over 2% discretionary to be second place, to be the second heaviest weight in SPY. This was always like third to me. This was always right behind it. This was always second. Now it's like fifth, you know? So it's like, you can see there's been a change of hands in terms of weights within SPY. And yeah, guys, that contract moved a lot. The 630's at 150, the 631's at 88. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm dying. Good post though, Rob. Sorry, I was trying to catch my breath. Good post though. Because it's crazy for someone like me or anybody in chat who's been around for a while to see that, because we've felt it, we've witnessed it, and so it's really, really cool to see that in like an actual chart displayed like that. Whoever made that visual, I'm also glad they added industrials in the middle to kind of show you like the boring middle of the ground, and then it shows you the pullback of healthcare. It shows you the resurgence of NVIDIA and just tech as a whole. Okay, guys, we hit this area almost, and Apple is at 4%. They did go up as high as 4.5% at one point. It'd be funny if Microsoft and NVIDIA went up now, and then Apple went down. That would be like the most. That would be the most Wednesday I've ever seen. But yeah, I like those, Rob. Thank you for posting that. I always have to check the chat to see if there's like a scammer or spammer, so I always check it, and I saw it last night on my phone. I was laying down. I even remembered where I was when I saw your post. Good morning, Ace. Good to see you, man. How was your day so far? How did you sleep last night? Did you dream of us? Sorry, guys. I'm sharing 2 links because that was what I just covered, so I'm just sharing videos based on what I just covered. What's up, Ace? I missed you, man. Appreciate it. Haha, good looking at. No problem, Isaac. Sorry, I'm catching up now. No problem at all. Yeah, thank you for that, Rob. I swapped energy drinks, and now I can stay up the whole session. What energy drink did you have, and then which energy drink did you switch to? Just genuinely curious now. Finally done digging a trench since 9:30. Rest in peace. Dude, I hate digging. Anybody who's good at digging doesn't like it. I hate digging. I used to be so bad at it, too. Trenches can be a little tedious, too. What's the trench for? Is it like... I was gonna say like a return line, but then I was just gonna wait for your answer. You're a master digger? Yeah. I used to be the worst at it when I first started in plumbing. I was the absolute worst. This old guy would always roast me and make fun of me. And then he finally like showed me how to do it, and then I finally started getting better and like digging deep and shit really quickly. And I was like, man, even when you're good at it though, it sucks. Like it's not like it's a good thing to be good at. Like it actually sucks. But I'm glad you're done though. I'm glad you're chilling. What was it for though? A downspout drain. Oh, that's fucking great. Through a bed of rocks too. Yeah, I was gonna say I hate doing like small trenches, the ones that you don't have to dig deep, because those can actually be the most annoying. Because you end up dealing with roots, rocks, all this crap in the ground, beer bottles, you know, shit like that. But they're just so, it's like tedious digging, you know. Whereas like if you're digging deeper, it's like, all right, I know I can smash the ground as hard as I want. I hate that though. Every time we would work on sprinklers or sprinkler repair for people's front yards and stuff, I would have to dig through so many fucking roots because there's trees in everyone's front yard. I mean, I don't know a house that doesn't have one in their front yard. So that was always hectic. But I'm glad you're done though. Get you a water, get you a Gatorade or something. Hydrate a little bit. Maddie's over here in World War One. From a C4 to lit AF. I've never even heard of that second one. Drink. Jesus, the can looks crazy. Wait, so you went to the lit as fuck drink. So that means it works really well then. I gotta glue this thing together and get out of here. I'm about to do a mass sprinkler operation next week. Wish me luck. Dude, I wish I lived closer to you, man. I would love to just come, like, dip in and help you do, like, some of the side jobs. I wouldn't even ask for money. It would just be kind of fun to come help you out a little bit. And because I'm insanely knowledgeable on sprinklers. As much of a not flex that is. I've already told my story on how I found the sprinkler leak at that golf place. The what do they call it? Top Golf. I can't even think of the damn name. I don't know what's in it, but it works, and it makes me feel hyper-focused. That is insane. It really sounds like we should be giving that to our troops. Lit AF. What's up, Lag? Are you going to get Battlefield 6, Lag? Are we going to play Battlefield 6 as a group? That'd be pretty funny. He said, I'm down. Let's go, dude. Oh, we got to wait, but I already pre-ordered it. I'm going to tell you right now. I already pre-ordered it. I'm one of those people. I would genuinely play Battlefield 6 with anybody from the group if they wanted to run it. You're always the medic? Oh, you're a real one. I'm overall, like, I'll play whatever. I don't give a fuck. I genuinely don't like sniping, though. Like, I cannot snipe in Battlefield games. Battlefield 1 was the only one I could. I'll play literally anything. We're about to run through those lobbies, bro. You know it. But yeah, I saw it was coming out, and I pre-ordered it, and I was like, you know what? It'd be cool if, like, people in chat got it, too. I don't know if I would pre-order it like I did though. I would wait for it to come out and see if I hate it or not, and then be like, all right, it's worth. But from everything I've seen, it looks like it's worth. And even if it isn't as good as like the best Battlefield games, like it should still be decent. It should be better than the shittiest ones. God, I really have low expectations of this. Stepping out for a bit. Catch y'all later. Much love. Love you too, Alexis. Good luck at work, man. Or whatever you're doing. Bro could be on some like assassination mission for all I know. I used to be that guy in the tank slapping down jets. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie. I used to love being the guy that was on foot, and I would love taking down like tanks and vehicles, and then running up and just blasting people. Like I just like the destruction of things, I think. That's why those games are fun to me. I could be like 0 and 20, and I'd be having the time of my life because everything's blowing up. I've never been great with vehicles, though. I don't know how people do that. No, you didn't, Ace. No, you didn't. I know you didn't. I know for a fact that you didn't. Also, the cool thing with this one is this is the first Battlefield you don't have to own the EA app. You just have to have an EA login. But you don't have to have the app. You can literally download it from Steam, play it on Steam. This is the first Battlefield that's done that. Carter? I'd be on horseback marking people's swords all day. Dude, I love people that know how to mark, though. That's funny as hell. I'm assuming you're talking about Battlefield 1. Which is, like, probably the other best. It's like that and 4, I would say, are probably the best two. You can't really beat Battlefield 1 cinematics, though. I mean, you literally feel like you're in war when you load that game. I even re-downloaded Battlefield 4 just to, like, get ready, you know? Just to get in the zone. I forgot how dog shit the graphics were, though. I should have just got BF1. I'll probably just get BF1 today to get ready for it. Because all the Battlefields, I don't know if y'all saw, they're all like $4 now because of the new games coming out. Bad Company 2 is peak Battlefield. Oh, wait, I forgot about Bad Companies. I would definitely put that up there. I'd put Battlefield 4, Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 1. I'd put those all like in the top 3 probably. I don't know in what order, but I would put those up there. Yeah, Carter, that's probably the best Battlefield. I'd have to argue with that or 4, but that's probably the best one. I remember when I first loaded that game, there was that map where it's like most of it's outside and there's like this big like building that people are like kind of defending, and then it moves on from there as well. And I remember as the map progressed, like on the overall screen, it would be clean. The map's looking great, looks clean, looks like there's just the map. There's nothing destroyed yet. And then at the end of the game, there'd be like these fucking huge pit holes like every 5 feet, like covering the map. It was fucking awesome. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I hope we get all of that and more on BF6. Spike, yeah, sorry, Isaac, I'm way off topic here. Spy going up, think there will be a pullback by power hour. It's very possible because this right here, if you look at the left side, this is actually where we fell from, and that's why I kept it marked for that first initial move after the gap down. And now we're back here again. So you're either going to see a break and potential retake, or what you said, the rejection, and we probably stay in range. And by power hour, we'll probably back down here again. Or maybe we pull back, and by power hour, we're pulling back up, like we did yesterday, where we fell, and then we consolidated during the lunch period, and then in the last 2 hours, we just kind of came back down to where we went. So maybe we get that same action today. But no, that's a good way of thinking about it. I think that's also a very possible scenario. Nick asked a good question to everybody, and I think all of us should try to help answer it. He said, "Hey everyone, what's something you guys would do to help you from hesitating from getting in a trade?" Personally, and you're going to find my answer to be probably the most boring, is visualizing and preparation. I really do believe in, if you're not going through this beforehand, how are you going to trust yourself when you're in the moment, you know? Like, you really got to be thinking it through. Like yesterday. I'm going to use yesterday because it's just recency bias. I can remember it easier. When we were getting into the trades here, right, it wasn't on this candle. It wasn't on this candle. It was on this candle. You know, there was a little bit of, okay, I want to see some bearish price action under today's open and this area, and then I'll get in. I'm setting 2 conditions for myself, and that's really what you got to do for yourself. You got to set conditions for yourself, or you're not going to be able to make a more decisive approach. Does that make sense? And then visualizing, what I mean by that is just kind of like understanding what you're trying to go for. Maybe not visualizing exactly how the candles are going to look. That's not what I mean. But what price action do you want to see where, right? And then set those areas for yourself, and then be decisive, right? I would also say prep in terms of like back testing is very important. Understanding what is the outcome that you're going for, and what does it look like, and then be able to recreate that through that visualizing. Though you really got to be serious about it. Very boring answer. I am sorry. If anybody has anything else to add on to that, please do. Nick is a very cool guy, so feel free to share some good advice. Something that may have helped you. Ace, maybe you can answer. You are kind of famous on Twitter now. He said, click the buy button. Mental trade helped you out. And that's why I said, let's get some more answers in here, because you're going to hear one thing and you're like, I've already done that. And then you're going to hear another thing and you're like, oh, that's something. Maybe you've tried some of these things. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you haven't thought them through. Maybe you have on some of them. It's whatever. Very good question, by the way, Nick. I hope we get some good answers. He said mental trading was pretty good for him, and that's a good one. I didn't even think about that, but mental trading is very amazing because it kind of puts you in the seat of taking a trade, but you're not actually connected to it. So it's not amazingly helpful, but it does give you that visualization of like, all right, this is what I should be going for. A template, But setting conditions for yourself, I really think you should try to drive that point home. Click the buy button. God, I love you, Ace. Ace, are you really going to get BF6? I know you got the money for it. That sandwich shop fucking losing money because of you. No? What? You tripping. When I had that issue, I found that it's because when I was planning to trade with a position that was too big for me to handle psychologically. So to reduce size by picking a further out of the money. Oh, okay, so you just reduced how much you're investing to kind of create a less volatile decision-making process for yourself. That was a lot more worded than it needed to be. But just kind of setting it up for yourself to where you're not as in much pressure as someone else who may be over leveraged or whatever. Ace plays GTA? Nah, Ace does not do that. My bro does not play roleplay. I would never let him do that. I don't know if me and Ace could be friends if that's where he came from. No, Ace is cool, man. He'll play whatever. He's just being a dick. Mental trade until you get comfortable with the trade. What to expect after you enter, and what it looks like when it fails. Garden trades coming through with that solid advice. And Nick, let us know, is there anything in here that you've read so far, that you've heard so far, that is somewhat something you'd like to try? Is there something that maybe you've already been doing? But it's definitely not as easy as people think. Like, I hate when people... Like, Ace is just joking with you, but it really is funny. Like, some people would just be like, dude, just buy. Like, what are you doing? Like, no, you need to also know when to not buy. Like, today with me, when we were sitting here looking at this, and we are like, oh, it looks so good. We should get in soon. Or no, actually, it was this right here. And we were like, it's not the greatest. No. It was this candle. I'm stupid. It was this candle. Sorry. I was like, why would I say that on this candle? We're looking at this candle going, this might be trying to hold. It looks like it has a higher low here. It might be the second good higher low. And then it didn't give it to us. It did need another test. I was kind of glad that we didn't touch it because it was just like, it just felt wrong. Because if you looked at your weights, there was just a weird timing between them. So that was just what the case was today. That might not be the case for tomorrow. That wasn't the case yesterday. Yesterday, I didn't even mention the weights because I didn't need to. It was so obviously going down based on the chart by itself, So today was a little bit stickier based on us having to look at more things to kind of understand direction. But the right areas held and conditions were met. So it was tedious, but there were definitely there was no part of the chart today where someone should have been caught on the wrong side of the trade by a big loss. I could see someone getting snipped by a small loss in some of these liquidity grabs, but anything outside of that, today was also kind of easy. It was just not as directional, if that makes sense. So if you feel like you struggled today but not yesterday, that's probably the case too. I would definitely say today is a little bit more of a difficult session so far than yesterday was. But today's price action is still very clean, even with me saying all that. Thank you guys, and yeah, Ace is right. Oh, those are devil words. Don't ever type that. Ace is right. That's crazy. Don't say that. Never say ace is right. I just need to click buy, lol. Trade one contract or 1% of port. There you go. There's some real advice from Ace. Thank you, Ace. I was waiting for his real advice dad feature to kick in, but it just never did till just now. I'm just kidding, by the way. I like to poke at Ace. That's the homie. So if anybody's new in here and they think I'm bullying somebody, I'm not. If anything, he bullies me. I struggled today getting in on the 5-minute when I should have been looking at the 2 or the 1. That was my problem, too. I think I was so focused on just talking to you guys, I didn't zoom down more. But the 1 minute, I won't lie, made that 6,000 times easier to read. And maybe that's something we could think of in the future, Nard. Maybe if we feel a day is not as easier to read as we did the previous day or whatever, maybe we check out different time frames for a couple minutes. We go to check the smaller time frames. We go up, go in the opposite direction, check out a bigger time frame like React was suggesting earlier. 15-minute, 30-minute, stuff like that. But I think that's something, too, that we could all take note. Like, okay, today's not in as a great pace as the other day. Let's go to check out some other time frames, see if we can make sense of what's in front of us. And that's why I'm glad we did check the 1 minute at one point, because it reminded us, oh, okay, bulls are still in control. It's just not the sexiest look. Because all we've really done is open slightly higher. We held both dips that were just trying to fill the gap, it looked like. They didn't even touch previous day close. They got close. And then we're just in our range still. We're where we fell from yesterday. So we're just kind of in a range right now, even with this really clean movement. But I think the timing and the pacing is what makes it feel like a more difficult day. It's not really the price action. By the way, Apple is up to almost 5% again. 4.65. Microsoft Nvidia, very lightly down, and you have a lot more weights going up again. Amazon all the way to JPM, Visa, Exxon all the way to Procter & Gamble. The only weights that are actually down today in a significant manner are UNH, which I think anyone could have guessed that one, and Eli Lilly. Microsoft and Nvidia are down, but they are not down in a significant amount. So we have a lot more green than red on our weights. Does that make sense, everybody? Over here on this left side. When I'm mentioning that, please definitely just look at this left side, because this is what I'm mentioning. Last price, net change of the session, percentage-wise. So really easy to read. You just got to make sure you're looking at this a little bit more. Have a good day, all. You too, Robert. Thank you for being here and appreciate you for all the updates you always give. And thank you for all the charts, too. We love Robert. But we don't love Ace. Ace, are you at the office or home today? Home? Nice. Now I can bug him. Bull is really above 16, up 8% today. It's good to be a Webull investor. Damn, Maddie sent me a picture of what he was working on. That looks really good, actually. Ooh, good job, Frankie. He had an overnight play finally go green. It was down 5%. Now he's up 27%. I was just telling him, too, there was no reason to cut his swing, too, so I'm glad he held. 27%, good for him. That's all Frankie G. No one helped him on that. Per usual. It's kind of the trend with some of the badasses in my chat. Yes, we like to help each other out. We like to mention things to each other. We like to update. We like to help that. But we also like to make our own plays. A lot of people in my chat like to do that. And it's not really in terms of like, let me boost my ego or let me look cool in front of my friends. Like, it's more or less just like, no, I want to get shit done. If you guys want to experience or read along, that's cool. But that's how most people think in my group. They're just trying to get shit done. There's no extra strings attached to them, so that's always good. You know, not like Ace. That Ace guy is just something else. We are breaking that high, guys. This is a new high of day. We're above the 631s. 631.09 to 631.30s. Next level in our way is 632 about. It's very close. And then beyond that, besides previous day high, we have pretty much open skies up until that next level at, which I think is like 635. 635.30s. So there's a lot of open room above our head here. Excuse me. I'm sure I could find another level in here, though. But for now, it is pretty open. How's the music, by the way? Is it too quiet? Can you hear it at all? I'm just re-asking again because I had to switch playlist again. I'm not trying to annoy y'all. What music? Fuck me, dude. Is it really that quiet? How does my recording keep getting clicked? I need to look at what that even is. You really can't hear the music, Ace? Bro, somebody earlier was saying it was too loud. Now you can't even hear it? I didn't even change anything except the playlist. Bro, does each playlist have a different, like, loudness to it? Like, that's what I'm, like, slowly backtesting. We're backtesting my sanity. No music at all. Oh, that's great. Somebody earlier said this shit was loud. Alright, you're a liar if y'all say there's no music now. Either way I answer you think I'll be lying. No, that's true. It's just because it's you. It's not really because of, like, you know, anything else. There's no other, like, existential reasons that, like, I would think that. It's just because it's you. It's also because the way you type, though. You always type in, like, such a short, like, cut way, you know? Where it's like, you have me thinking you're decisive, but then you have me thinking that you're fucking with me. Which is 90% of the time the case. I could say, who's buying Battlefield 6? And he'll literally just be like, pre-ordered BF6. I hate you. No, we like Ace. Make sure y'all follow Ace on Twitter if you don't already. Ace Ventura trade. Not trades, trade. Check him out, though. The homie. Plus, I don't use this shitty app, so if you're going to support someone on there, that's who you should support. I can't stand X. Besides Ace, there's, like, nobody real on there. No one actually trades. No one actually does anything. It's fucking amazing. He wouldn't be a friend if you didn't think he was effing with you. You got that right. You got that right. Now, Ace is a good friend. If we were, like, in person, he'd probably be, like, a best friend. He wouldn't ever regard me that high, but Yeah. The funniest thing about Ace, and I say this so much, you've probably heard me say this 100 times on stream. The funniest thing about Ace is when you're on a call with him and he's like going through a drive-through and you hear the person giving him his food and they're like, order for Ace. And you sit there for a second. You're like, did this man use his online alias in a drive-through? And it just makes you want to crack up. It's so fucking funny. The first time I heard it was hilarious too, because that lady said it perfectly. She's like, order for Ace? I'm sitting there like, no way. No way you did that. And he does it every time. He's not even doing it for jokes. He actually just does that every time. He's not even trying to be funny. That's Ace for you. He likes his cold cuts. He likes his bagels. And he likes being green all month long, except for one day every month. He just loves making that one mistake day. It's in his blood. 29 days of green, 1 day of red. 29 days of green, 1 day of red. Oh, man. Dude, time flies in these streams. It is 10:30 already. This is a perfect time, dude. I love when it's 10:30 because it's a perfect time of the day to check the news. I've been trying my best to reshare these as best as I can in the chats just because, well, it's really easy to forget this shit. Check out the daily updates channel, guys. I'm going to start putting them in there. I've been doing a pretty good job of posting them a lot more. I normally put them in Trade Floor, but I'm going to start putting them in here just to keep it a little bit more organized, I guess. But if you ever see these and I'm not really typing anything with them, it's because it's a midday update. It's just news that came out midday or from the morning. It's just showing you a brief summary. What you want to read is just the need to know market risk on that one website. Financial Juice, and then on briefing.com you just want to go down and look at the moving the market, and they should be around the same news, and if not, then you have more news that makes sense. Damn! Am I reading that right? Does that say 160%? My puppy came to check on me. Sorry. Hold up, Lily. I'm hyping up Carter and Frankie here. Wait, get away from here. Get away from my wire. Don't eat that. She just likes to come check on me, see if I'm still breathing. Pretty cool dog, I guess. My bad, Isaac. What did I ask? You said no. What are you saying no to? Sorry, my dog was fucking with me. A pretty good reason to lose my train of thought, though. Train of thought. Good shit, though, Frankie. I wanted to start with you. The overnight play you had finally went green, then you had your 27%. Even after I said, dude, nice hold, you waited a couple more minutes, and you got a really big fat gain out of that. So good shit, dude. And then Carter. Okay, Frankie. Okay. That was a runner all out GG. Previous day high inbound. Current day open hold and entry off of the PDCP 5-minute hammer. I'll give you your own chart. So he said the halfway point of yesterday. What is that, 82? I thought it was 81. It's funny, I hit 82 yesterday and had to adjust it, and today I hit 81 and had to adjust it. Why does that still look off? Okay. Okay, so you said the previous day control point. Let's go back. Previous day or current day open hold and entry off of previous day control point. 5-minute hammer. On the 5-minute. Oops, I can't see. Here's our open, just to remind ourselves. So after the hold of open, so over here, and the hammer. So this candle here, I'm assuming. I feel like this is the cleanest one, if that's what you mean by hammer. Swim banquet soon. Need to lock in to make. Hold up, I gotta go. To make awards. Catch you guys later. Make that money. Damn, Alst. All right, well, let us know how it goes, bro. I would love to know. Good luck, though, Alst. Let's all wish Alst good luck. Carter said yes. Okay, cool. Great explanation, dude. Seriously, I love when you guys do that because, like, look how much you typed. You know, it's not that much typing, but the explanation is so deep. Good shit too, because I love seeing this because this really shows. What am I doing? This really shows how much movement you need to get a gain like that. You know, people think you have to get a fucking 10% move, a $10 move, $20 move. It's got to go up for 20 minutes straight. No, it doesn't. And look at the size of that gain, like massive. And then Frankie, good shit again. Sandollar, good shit. Carl, good shit. I keep wanting to call you grass fed. This is Kid 83. Silently tuned on stream. Miss you, my man. Always love you, Carl. I always have love for you, bro. This is probably one of the older guys in my chat now. Not in terms of age, in terms of how long he's been in the server. Yeah, 2019. Pretty insane. And I've known him even before that. Before the group even existed, Carl was in my... me and Carl were from a Discord that sucked complete ass. And then we came here. Love you, man. I love seeing your name, Carl. Wait, this is either that Carl or this is the other Carl. I do have two Carls. This is either Carl from back in the day, or this is... Okay, this is you. Okay. There is another Carl, just to remind you. There is another Carl. He's not active like you. Like, he's not active at all. But that's why that threw me off for a second. I was like, wait a minute. Dude, love you, man. Love you. SPX, dude. Fucking huge job. Huge gain. You too, kid. Good shit. And good job, guys. Seriously, I love seeing this. Because there's not any part of this stream where I could go back in here and be like, I told y'all to buy here, I told y'all to sell here. Like, no one is sitting on my tit, you know? You're all doing this on your own. This is what I want to see. I don't want to see anybody riding anyone's case, anybody waiting for someone else. Like, we can always help each other out, update with each other, work together on things. But there should be no need for, did you guys catch that trade I called out to everybody? Like, no, fuck that. Fuck the ego stuff. We're not into that. That's not how this group works. This is how this group works. Working hard. All 4 of you. Good shit. And there were multiple people before that, but you guys just recently all just dumping your gains all at the same time. It's really funny. Tit, you say? Yes, tit. You know what I meant. Don't ride the tit. You're not a baby. You're a grown-ass person. Grown-ass people in this chat. No tit riding. There's another term I could have used, but I don't know if I think I'd get flagged on YouTube. Knowing YouTube, the word tit and the F word and shit, these are all flagged, for all I know. We're getting demonetized as we speak. Which, that's not true anyway, because I don't monetize the streams anyway. I just don't see the point in that, dude. I can't stand the number of ads people get outside of not paying for premium YouTube. Like, if you don't pay for premium YouTube, you're already getting a fuck ton of ads. And they're not even in my control. That's like out of my hands. Even with YouTube Premium, though, I think it's crazy that you can get an ad. So that's why I don't do that. Because a majority of people in my group pay for YouTube Premium. They don't need to be fucking getting ads on top of that. That's just crazy. I pay for YouTube Premium. I mean, it's worth it if you watch YouTube or use YouTube. But outside of that, not really worth it. If you held a gun up to me and you said I have to cancel my Netflix subscription or my YouTube subscription, I might take the bullet. Just to see if I can survive and keep both. YouTube thinks I'm in Turkey? What the fuck? Rising Volume 2, good call out, Carter. I didn't have it on, so I'm glad you said that to me. You had Rising Volume confirmation on top of your hammer holding. And see, that's what I want to see. Like, Carter just said like 5 different things. He said, I'm above this. I'm above PDCP. I have a hammer. He had Rising Volume. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 things telling him he can take a trade now. Carter, round of applause, man. And you didn't type a paragraph to explain it. Fucking round of applause, dude. 4 ads on a 10-minute video and using ad blocker. Yeah, that's that kind of stuff that would piss me off. That's why I don't monetize my streams and stuff, because it's just like, it's pointless. Also, anybody who runs a YouTube knows that that's pointless. I've seen large YouTubers with millions of subs make like $1,600 and they complain about it. And it's like, what? You just made $1,600. You went live for like 3 hours, dude. Relax. $1,600 in 3 hours, and you hear someone complaining, dude. That's someone who has lost reality, who has lost the touch of reality. Doesn't understand. It's crazy to me. You tried TikTok live streaming? I have not, but I've heard some good and bad things about the TikTok. I just don't like TikTok. I'll be honest with you guys. I know that it's a larger group of people on there, but it's not really what I care about anyway. But I know why I'll say that. There's a lot of people who use it, but it's just not the right kind of people I'm looking for. You know, that's why I don't do the advertising anything, because the people I want in my group, I want the mature people. I want the boring people. I want the older people. I want adults. I want people who are established enough to where I don't have to sit here and worry about hurting their feelings. You know, and in most cases, I'm not really attacking anybody's feelings anyway, but it's just, you know what I mean? Some people take things the wrong way, right? I've had a lot of kids in my group before, teenagers, younger people who are like barely 20 will be in here, and they're the worst kind, you know? And that's not to say that some of you who are younger aren't like that. Like, you're not. There's a lot of people in my group who are young and mature. You can definitely be both. But it's just, I don't know. It's a very immature audience over there. Not to say YouTube or Twitch is any better. I'm not even trying to say that either. It's just I really, really fuck with the kind of people that we have in here, and I really don't want to fuck that up. And some people would look at my community and be like, oh, well, you could always have more people. You could always have more subscriptions. Yeah, I could, but I don't really give a fuck. What's the point? You know, if I get 200 more people in here between now and a month from now, I'm not even going to be able to learn any of their names, learn anything about them, remember anything about them. I can specifically remember at least one thing about most people in my group, which is pretty good because sometimes we have 10 people active, sometimes we have 40 people active. You know, it's like there's a change difference in each week. You know, it's like some people on vacation, some people are just more busy, some people just don't feel like giving a shit that week. Because again, they're grown-ass adults. A lot of them have kids. A lot of them have actual real jobs that actually like benefit society. You know, it's not like people in my chat are freeloaders. You know, it's a different experience in here when you talk to people because a lot of them really are mature. They really give a shit. They're passionate about what they're doing. Most of them are pretty nice. Some of them like to joke around a little bit too much, but it's okay. It's all good fun. But I would rather have a smaller community of just really cool people. I really would. That's really how I see my chat. I just see a bunch of really cool people. And do you know how many people, too? When I took that long-ass break, and then I came back, and then I had that tooth thing, and I had to take another break. Bro, I thought I was going to get nothing but just hate, and some people were going to despise it. And I knew some people were going to not be as active, which that's already kind of been fixed. But I really thought I was going to come back and like have some sort of pushback, you know? Bueller, where the fuck you been? Why are you always gone? You're not treating this year that as seriously as you did the previous years. You know, I haven't gotten a single message like that. Not a single one. If anything, I've gotten messages from people, Dr. J especially. I love Dr. J. But I've had a lot of people like that who message me while I'm gone. Don't even know if I'm going to read it that day. They don't know. They don't know if I'm going to read it for a week. They have no idea. Right? And they'll send these huge messages that are just like, yo, dude, thanks for doing this. Thanks for doing that. I hope you're doing good. Like, to kind of support me, bring me back up, that positive reinforcement. Like, and they don't have to. They don't have to do any of that shit. They don't. It takes energy out of them to even have to type that crap. You know, so I have some really cool people in my group. I really thought I was going to come back and there was going to be some sort of pushback or anything, and nobody said shit. It was like, hey, Bueller, when you starting to stream up? You know, that was the kind of energy I was welcome to. And it was just like, oh, shit. So, I'm blessed. I already know this. I'm in touch with my surroundings. I know I'm in a great spot. I know I'm blessed to have people like you guys around me. And it's not like for money, it's not for streaming, it's not even that like for health reasons even. Like, it is so fucking awesome having a group like that. Because there's weeks where I'm going to be, you know, up, there's weeks where I'm going to be down, but it's never going to stem from the chat though. I can always at least rely on that, and that's honestly a huge like security thing for me. I love that. Also, we got some pretty cool people in chat. Like when Battlefield 6 comes out, I would love to play Battlefield 6 with whoever the fuck wants to play it. Like, that'd be really cool to just play games with people from the chat. Which I've already kind of been doing that here and there. It's just not as much. But yeah, it'd just be cool. A real community of people. They can be a bitch to wait for, though. You'll excel only because the trading market and TikTok is brain dead. Any actual analysis will probably make them bust. Bro, I didn't even read who typed that. I just instantly knew that was either lag to death or lag to death. That's the only two people it could have been. You'll excel only because the trading market in TikTok is so brain dead. Any actual analysis would probably make them bust. That's a big reason I'm not on X anymore. Like, I post my links and random stuff like Good Morning on X, but that's about it. But there, like, so many people on there advertise, and all of them are full of shit for the most part. So I just don't like that. Also, if everyone's winning in the market, how is that possible? Like, that's what X will make you think. Twitter will make you think that no one's losing except you. Like, that's what it'll feel like. So I just don't like it. Thanks for the stream, bro. Finna catch a nap before work. Hope everyone has a great day. You too, Nard. He's probably already gone. I probably missed him. Hope you get a good nap in, man. I saw someone try to trade base on just RSI and sell a course on it. What? That's mind-blowing. Another 5-minute hammer, this time off pre-market high. Oh, good looks, because I took my extended hours off. see what we get. And I can already instantly see where it's around because you told me hammer. Good shit. They are literally the Win Lambo meme. It's really that bad on there? That's bad. It's funny because I was just sharing this yesterday in chat. I have a whole playlist for how to buy the base, buy the dip, like effectively and with conditions set. I even have multiple examples with different indicators. There's 5 videos in here total. But it's funny because they're all showing the same thing. And it's a lot of these are really old, 2-3 years old. I think this one's closer to 4 now. These are slept on, and this is the same thing I use to this day. I don't use the indicators anymore because I don't need them, but basically the same rule set, though, of, oh, there's a low, oh, wait for the higher low. Now I can look at patterns the way they are. Whereas in the other scenario where it's one low, it just goes straight up, it's like, yeah, it went up, but how could you have effectively, done that? You couldn't have. You couldn't have effectively, realistically taken a trade on that. And that's what these videos cover. But it's funny you say that, and there's like whole courses on that whole concept, and I have 5 free videos in a playlist on that kind of subject. Also, RSI is a scam. I don't know why people use that still. It's so laggard that it might be too late to even read it the way that it's being shared. And people don't understand. You have to get the data for RSI to get that data, for it to make sense. So it takes time. So it's a laggard. It's very late. Every indicator is late, but that one especially, it's like, what the hell? The visual update is just not there. But what I'm trying to get at, though, is that there are actual ways of telling if something is overbought or oversold. And there's actually a couple ways, but I'll just go over one for now. Especially on our bigger time frames, and a lot of you know this method because I say it so many times on here. But anytime you have a gapped up small body candle or a gap down small body candle, and it's not followed by any kind of just clean price, you're probably looking at an overbought or oversold chart. And especially when it's on the back end of a move, right? So let's say we have this move right here, right? We have a move that goes up all day. And then towards the end of the day, I get a gapped up candle and it turns into an inverted hammer to the downside. What does that tell me? I'm probably looking at an overbought part of the chart because it's on the back end of a move, and now I'm getting a couple small bodied candles in a row. Gapped up, small body candle, get a couple more like that. That's an overbought chart. Vice versa for the downside. And it's really fun to watch that on the daily time frame. Once you get good at it on the daily, then you can try to apply that on your smaller intraday time frames. But I would definitely practice on the daily time frame first, just because things settle a little bit differently on there, and you'll have that better look at, okay, this is overbought or this is oversold. And then you could try to look for that kind of same look and scenario on your intraday time frames. So it's about timing. And you can do all that without an indicator on your screen. It's pretty crazy. It'll make you think why you were the only one not making $1 million. Dude, literally, it literally makes you feel like that. And it's funny because someone a lot smarter than me said this at one point. I don't even remember who it was, but a genius said this. He said, if you see someone posting gains online, like on Twitter and stuff like that, most of the time, they're not posting whatever their losses are. And their losses are a lot of the time 2 times or more whatever you're seeing on those gains. So if someone's posting $1,000 in gains on a trade, they're probably hiding the skeleton in their closet of the other $1,500 to $2,000 that they lost the other day or this morning or later that evening, whatever it is. They're probably not sharing that, because when people share their recognition or share their accomplishments or achievements, they're sharing the good stuff. They're not going to share you the bad shit. Like me personally, I blew my first account, and that was before we even had Bueller buys. And that was because I was just buying things other people told me to, and I instantly learned, wow, I really do need to think for myself. And that's been the whole point of this group since then, thinking for yourself. Yes, we have strategies. Yes, there's things we can cover and help each other out with, but you really could just go through everything on your own in the group and figure it out on your own. There's no one holding you back except yourself in here. And that's what we wanted in here. That's the main template for this group, is thinking for yourself. Yes, we're all here to help each other. You're not here alone. You're not stranded alone. But you do need to think for yourself. Act on your own. What's up, Alexis? Good to see you, man. How was it? Or what'd you go do? Was it something with work? Did you get lunch, or what's up? I missed you, though. That's what you need to know. New high of day on SPY. Looks like Carter's hammer buy looking pretty good. It's the same place encouraging the Chase Bank fraud. It's hustling. Oh, yeah, no, you're not even wrong. Calling it hustling, yeah. It just feels like a 10x Grant Cardone course. Like, why am I paying for this to learn things I could have Googled? But on the other end of that, though, a lot of people are, I'm not going to say stupid. I don't think they're stupid. I just think they're unaware or don't take the time to look around. Because I think that's what causes people like that to exist. Your Grant Cardones wouldn't exist if there wasn't somebody who did actually need to buy something. And if he didn't speak so fancy, he probably wouldn't sell any. But he speaks super fancy. He knows what he's saying. He knows what he's saying is bullshit. And that's how he gets really good sales. And there's people like that online everywhere. I use Grant Cardone as the example because it's Grant Cardone, but you know, just making up accomplishments that haven't actually happened. Stuff like that. It's just so weird. Like, you're not gonna see me sit here and be like, I did a $1 to $200 account challenge. I did a 1 to 1,000 account challenge. Like, I'm killing it. You know, you should just, like, if someone is telling you that at the front door, that should be your red flag. Your introduction to someone should be something that they've worked on, done, working in the middle of, or just join their stream, see what they're saying. Shouldn't ever be like, yeah, check this out, I got a gain, join my group. That should throw you away from joining the group. You're tempted to sneak out? Wait, why do you have to sneak out? Because your girlfriend? She doesn't like you to eat spicy sandwich? Spicy biscuit, sorry? They the Forex people. Work shenanigans? Oh, okay, Alexis. Long as you're being safe, man. Stay hydrated, Alexis. Oh, man, the Iman trading video on him exposing ICT concepts are hilarious. I honestly don't watch any of that stuff. I don't watch trading videos. The only trading videos I watch are when I'm having to cut my own video. I can't stand watching trading videos anymore. I don't know what it is. It's just weird. It makes me think I'm not focused on whatever I'm doing with myself. You know what I mean? It's not to hate on the content that you're talking about or anyone watching anything else, but I just don't. It's hilarious because Cardone will hate on emergency fund, then was asked, you don't have $1? Or you don't have one? Said if I need emergency fund, I'll ask a friend. Oh yeah, Grant Cardone's genuinely like one of the biggest scam artists ever. He's really smart though. He's really smart. I never hate on him so much to where I like take away that his genius. But he really does just pry on stupid people. He pries on desperate people. It is slimy, but it's pretty smart. Because he gets his bag, you know. But I don't like Grant Cardone. I just like to use him as an example because he's like the perfect like legal scammer. Like he's legally scamming people on fake accomplishments. He'll sit there and tell people he's made this and that and he's never done that in his life. It's like, okay. Like, thank God he's not on Shark Tank. Oh my God. That would be his biggest accomplishment. I'm on Shark Tank with all these actual investors. No, you're good. I knew you meant Cardone. Says everything you need to know. Yeah, that is very slimy. No, he is very slimy. He has a lot of double standards that he doesn't even stick by. And his ego is so brittle, he might even hear this stream one day and be like, I need to challenge that guy. Like, it's like, bro, chill out. I got 20-something people in here. Relax. And it's not that deep. Like, you can't trust that kind of person. Holy crap, I can't type. With this price action, I don't want to step away. Oh, not because of your girlfriend, because of the price action. Fair enough, fair enough. Blink twice if you're in danger. Make sure to drop a like on the stream if you guys already haven't. We're still going. I just wanted to remind everybody, support the stream. And let me know if there's anything in here that we've covered today or gone over, or any price action that was kind of cool to you that you want to review again or just talk about, or maybe you want to say something about it, or question even. Feel free to throw all that stuff out now. My wife is a big Dave Ramsey guy too. Gotta reel her in a bit. Wait, Dave Ramsey, which one is that again? Oh, my mom is a fucking huge Dave Ramsey fan. I can't get her to shut up about this guy. To be fair, Dave Ramsey is a lot more of a... How do I put that? A warm light. He's a lot better than the Cardones. But he has a lot of weird double standards too. He'll sit there and tell people the most obvious shit. And he has the most unrealistic scenarios. Let's be honest here. How many of those scenarios do you actually believe? Like, every time I hear those videos, it's like, yeah, bro, my dad just died. I just got like $1 billion and I don't know what to do with it. What do I do with it, Dave? And then he tells them like the most obvious shit. How many of these people are getting all that money? They'll be like, yeah, man, I sold plastic straws and I'm like a trillionaire now. What do I do with this money? It's like, what the fuck? What are these stories coming from? I like Dave Ramsey 10,000 times more than Cardone, though. They're not even in the same speed race. But no, Dave Ramsey's a lot better. I know exactly what you mean, though, because my mom does that. My mom loves Dave Ramsey. I won't lie, though. Those stories are entertaining because some of them don't make sense. But they're like, whoa. Imagine if that was real. People $200K in debt with $6K in car payments. How do I fix? Sell the cars. No shit. Yeah, they never make sense to me. I knew a kid that was a little bit younger than me, and he actually got pretty rich pretty quick and blew it all. And his story was that he made a coffee company. They sold energy drinks and coffee powder and all that stuff in these little packets. It was basically just convenient packets, and you dump them in, swish them, you're good to go. And they were actually really good. They were actually decent. I'm not gonna lie. He ended up getting a lot of money from it. Like, made a couple million his first year selling these things. And what does he do with that money? You take a guess. I'll let you take a guess. I'm gonna grab some water. You let me know what your guess is. What do you think this child did with all that money? All right, so I'll tell you his 3 major purchases, and it's going to piss you off. All right, so with this money, he bought 2 cars, right? The cars were the exact same model and make. So he essentially bought 2 of the same fucking car. And then his 3rd purchase, a house. Guys, if you ever get into money, do not buy a fucking new vehicle. Please, on God, remember this advice. Do not buy a vehicle. Do not be that person that blows all your money away super fast because you thought it'd be cool to own a new car. If you're doing it to splurge, fuck it, you know. Live life. You only live once. But if you're really trying to keep some of that money, do not buy cars. I'm telling you. And he blew all of it away. All that money that he made in his first year was gone that second year. His company took a little bit of a slowdown. He did pretty fine for a couple years, and then he eventually had to sell one of the cars. He moved into a smaller house. I think he still has one of the cars, though. So he's still not doing bad overall, and he got to live life a little bit. But it's like, damn, man. It's like a lot of unneeded stress. When he could have just gone a couple more years, you know, and then he could have splurged, and it probably would have been justified. I mean, not as much, but, you know, it wouldn't have been that bad. Might as well get a Maserati. Like, getting a vehicle is pretty bad. Like, you should never get a new vehicle. Any kind of vehicle when you get some money into your hands. Funny story, when I worked at that plumbing company, there was a new Maserati. They did like a body shop kind of thing, but it wasn't like to work on the cars. It was just to take pictures of them. And they all had crazy cars in there. I got to see the BMW i8 when it first came out. I got to see a new Maserati. Like, that was pretty cool. I won't lie. I think that's what gets people too, because I'm not gonna lie, if you told me I had enough money to afford a certain car and I was looking at it, I was like, damn, this is a dope ass car. Like, it would be kind of hard to not just like pull that trigger, you know? I'm not even hating on the kid or anybody who does that. It's just like, I get it, you know? I understand. I get it. When I heard that BMW i8 Rev in front of me, I was laughing so hard because it was silent. It didn't even make a noise when he turned it on. It was crazy. I mean, that needs to be like an assassin's vehicle or something. Dream car right now is probably a GTR, but the price, nah. You don't even want to know what my dream car actually is. Yeah, it's been my dream car ever since I was younger, too. And it's because of how the car is made. But I'm really big into carbon fiber, if that's a good hint for you. I really like carbon fiber. And the price is insane. PT Cruiser. Pulling up in a wood grain. PT Cruiser. Stunting. That's one of my favorite Mac Miller songs. I just had... Wait, what? I just had hail damage. Oh, okay. I don't know why I was reading ball. Then I read haul. And I was like, what is this? To my truck in March. Still owed $17K. I took the check in for $10K, kept the truck, and will pay it off by end of year instead of taking $21K and starting payments over. Sure, I'd love a new truck. Gotta be an adult. Okay, I see what you were saying now. So you could have taken a route where you're like, oh, I'll just get a different truck, but instead you were just like, nah, let me just finish this out right. And then you have a vehicle that's pretty much paid off. Excuse me. That is pretty mature of you, though. I bet that was kind of hard. You're like, fuck, I could do it, though. A Mansory? No. Koenigsegg. But it's a vehicle I would never actually own. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never, ever make enough to own that car. I mean, I would have to hit the lottery, and even then, you could sit there and tell me that's a stupid purchase, and I would have to agree with you. It's a vehicle I will literally never own. But I remember when I watched how they were made, it was really cool, and I saw they were made inside of this, like, one place. They don't make them anywhere else. I was like, bro, like, only true rich people drive this car. That's a truly fuck you money vehicle. What is a Mansory, dude? I've never even heard of that. I mean, I'm not really a car guy either, as most of you've probably already noticed. Wait. What am I looking at, guys? Which vehicle am I looking for? The Urus? Or what? I bet Vaughn during Car Week I got a video. They're pretty cool. Saw an Adra and a CCXR. Damn. Even I know what the first one was. You want a G-Wagon? Yeah, I won't lie. They're pretty dope. Is that not crazy looking? Is it like 18-wheelers where one of them's off the road a little bit? Or is one of them just smaller? Or am I just tripping? I could swear one of these are smaller or one of them's off the ground or something. I won't lie, it's pretty crazy looking. That's like a GTA crew vehicle. Jesus, dude. Make that not yellow and I would do it. Ugh, that's worse. What's up with those colors, dude? I can't stand the bright primary colors. That's just so boring. Yellow, blue, red, like, ooh. You're so unique. This is a good try. This is a good try. Black with like a lime green. I'm not really a huge lime green fan, but I like the attempt. I like the attempt. This light blue is kind of crazy. I don't know what blue that would be. Here's that vehicle again. It is a real thing. I don't know. It feels fake. Like, that looks like a fake picture, but the fact that we've seen multiple pictures now. Is that just a concept vehicle? Or is this a real vehicle? You bet that's fully deductible too? You're not wrong. Oh, now we're talking. Now we're fucking talking. Ooh. That is tough, bro. For a golf cart? No, they're not even called golf carts. They're called golf cars. That is fucking tough. It'd be cool if you had like a really huge yard or like a couple acres and you had one of these. Or a legit golf course and you could just drive it like crazy. That would actually be fun. This looks kind of fun. That looks slow. Actually, never mind. It's by Mansory though, dude. What's up with this Mansory company? I've like never heard of them. I'm not woke, I guess. What's up with that? They got like all kinds of vehicles. It's not just like golf carts. It's like all kinds of stuff. I keep saying carts. It's like so disrespectful to how expensive that probably is. It's a bot. Oh, are they like what's that other company? Hold up. I got one of them. Is it like Roche or Roush? Is it like that? Where they just make super badass looking vehicles out of already existing vehicles? Barbarous is better in my opinion. Is it like that though? Is it like Roush or Roche? Is it like well, the company that like messes with vehicles? It's kind of like that. It's kind of cool. What's up, Isaac? What you saying in here? He said, "Pick one thing, does complete opposite. I hope it dumps at end of day." Were you were shorting this? I'm assuming. If you want to go over your trade, we can, Isaac. It's up to you. I just don't want to put you on the spot. But I'll just go over like stuff based on what I have. I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, you should have known it was going to go up because there's a green candle here. Like, I'm not going to do that, but no, Roush also does performance. I think Masonry doesn't touch. Oh, okay. So they just do like making it look badass. Okay. Okay. So they're not as like high end as what I was thinking of, but they're kind of in the same category. Okay. I didn't know that though. That's kind of cool. Check off topic. I'm pretty sure this will make CRWV look like Child's Play. Wait, hold up. Everybody needs to go read what Rob posted in Trade Floor while I read what Lag sent me. Oh. Which Honda is this? Wait, huh? These are Hondas? No, they're not. You're literally full of shit. I'm pretty sure the second picture is a car I've driven in like a Forza game or something. The second one for sure. What is this first one? I can't tell what it is, but it's got a lot of carbon fiber on its ass. That isn't what I think it is, right? That thing, I'm not gonna lie, these both look sick. I was talking shit about blue, but blue looks crazy on that second one. Which Honda is this? Actually kind of got me. It's crazy because I'm that much of a car guy where, I mean, not much of a car guy where that almost got me. But I'm not that stupid, you know? Those are clearly Toyotas. Left is 2.1 mil, the right is, I think, 3. Fuck. Left is Koenigsegg. That's right. The right one is that. I'm not even going to try it. Pagani. Yeah, that's literally like in every racing car game. That right side car. That's in every racing car game from the beginning of time. The Koenigsegg looks kind of ass in the back. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if it's the taillights pissing me off or if it's like all these like stupid little divots into the back of it. The wing looks cool. I'm fine with the wing. Totally fine. It's the older Koenigsegg? Oh, okay. I don't know what... I can't tell what about it pisses me off. Part of that looks bad, though, on the back. But damn, that car is shiny. You know the guys, like, keep them well, too? Because you could basically stand in front of that and your reflections in it. That's pretty clean. I did short it earlier, got stuck in it. What do you mean got stuck in it? Somebody holding a gun to your head telling you to not cut? Come on, bro. When you say you entered, where did you enter? Give me some context. What time did you enter? I think you're Eastern. I think you're EST, if I remember correctly. It sounds like you're in a position you're just like staying in on your own accord. You're just like, fuck it, let's see if I can get lucky at the end of the day. Which I don't know if I trust that level of thinking, but I want to get context on your entry so I can make sense of what you were trying to do. Because I know what you're doing right now is not what you were trying to do. So I would love to get into your head and be like, all right, let's see what was his entry, why did he like it? Try to figure it out from my perspective. Based on things that I was going over. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, Isaac, why didn't you do that? Or why didn't you do this? Like, that's just not going to help. If I look closer, it's all carbon fiber. Wait, let me zoom in. Yeah, I didn't zoom in enough. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't remember the exact numbers, but way back in the day when I was a fan of this car, they said something like 90 to 92% of it is carbon fiber or something. Even the things that go around the lights are carbon fiber, but there are parts of the car that can't be. Pretty crazy, though. It's just a really cool made car. Also, they make them in, like, one little factory. I don't know about now, but that's how it was back then. Data center cloud power all-in-one for an IPO. I don't see how this doesn't get stupid. WYFI. Oh, it IPOs today. I'm stupid, dude. I can't even add the IPO. That's crazy. All right, well, don't forget that ticker, guys. WYFI. WYFI. Again, WYFI. He said it's a data center cloud power all-in-one for an IPO. He says, I don't know how this doesn't get stupid. D-Touch said, summer is almost over. I'll have my mornings back, but I'm living in the moment while my kids are still young. Every day, cook and clean for breakfast and lunch, then go to work. Damn, Carter, you literally typed what I typed. I mean, I typed more, but I said we love you, and you typed we love you. That's crazy. The love is genuine in here. That's actually really cool of D-Touch, though. See, like, that's what I'm talking about. These are the kind of people we have in our chat. That's most people in the chat. Like, you know why we have so many lurkers? Is because that's what older people do. I've known this for a good amount of time now. Like, younger people don't do that. Younger people have to react to everything. Have to answer to everything. Have to reply to everything. There's always a reaction to every little thing. Like, that's how younger people act. Older people don't act like that. I think I finally learned why I don't like that kind of community. That I've finally figured it out. It's because older, more mature people don't react to every little thing. Sometimes just sitting there watching is everything they wanted. It's like, that's it. There doesn't need to be anything else. That's it. Of course, B locates on a hill, Celesting. Damn, Maddie's actually like kind of good at like all that stuff he works on. Everything every time he sends stuff he's working on, it's like super good looking. Like he just did that drain for like this like garden and stuff, like, and he has a green thumb. It's crazy. Maddie has an actual green thumb. Not like, you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. It's pretty awesome. I just read what D-Touch sent. That's funny. Does anybody need any review or anything? I know we're just chilling, conversating, having fun while the market's trending up still. But does anybody need any review of anything or what we were looking for in today's price action, regardless of taking a trade or not, on your case or not? And holy fuck, Apple's up almost 6% now. I'm not joking. This is probably the biggest thing I think I talked about today. Was the Apple indifference. And again, this just kind of tied to like the last couple days, really. I wouldn't even say just today. I would say even the past couple days where it wasn't as crazy as this. It was kind of nice seeing these not really work together. And then seeing it do this and these aren't really going anywhere is kind of funny. Because these were the ones that were going up while Apple was chilling. And then these finally started going down and Apple started going up. It's like, what the fuck's going on? And I think you're just seeing the tech weights like pull back together a little bit more because they're actually on the bigger time frames really far away from each other. A lot of your tech weights are not in the same part of the charts. Go to your daily and see it yourself. But it's pretty nuts. But that's the reason I've been going over it like that. So you can see Apple, compare it to the all-time high and maybe like a low just to see like the difference. But Apple's right here. Just keep that in your head. Go to Microsoft. Microsoft's a completely different chart. we're in a different war over here. You go to NVIDIA, completely different war. So you can see why we've been getting that big indifference every single day. And we've been going over this for months. This isn't something we just brought up these past couple weeks. If you've been a part of my group for the past year and a half, you've understood this. You know, it's just something we've just known, something you pay attention to here and there. But it's kind of nice when you're seeing days like this, because it's like, wow, it's really paying off. The information's actually making sense. And we're actually seeing something that we could have benefited from it on Apple's chart, on SPY's chart, on NVIDIA's chart, on Microsoft's chart, you know, whatever the day is. It just gives you really good, I don't know, more potential setups that make sense. There's not like any deep thinking on it. More thinking, more bullshit. Because you're OCD as fuck. Yeah. Being OCD is good though, Maddie. It's good that you're OCD. I gotta drop you a link to the site I've been building for it. Oh, is it like fancy or something? Some crazy ass place? Yeah, send it over. I'll look at it. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Yo, did y'all hear about the Texas Democrats thing? Please tell me somebody in here saw that. When I saw that news pop up on my YouTube feed, bro, I can't believe the world we're in right now. Does anybody know about the Texas Democrat situation? Like a portfolio starting landscape business? Ooh. That's pretty cool. Flex the looks. I like that. Probably a good idea for business too. You could just show people, hey, look, we did this, we did that. We're capable. It's a really good idea. Nobody knows about the Texas situation. I don't even want to talk about it then. I'm not even gonna. It's not political. I mean, it is political, but I'm not going to be talking from a political point of view. But there's a bill, apparently, in Texas going on that if these Democrats were to vote on it, they would lose because they're the remaining votes, and it's pretty much already won. And so instead of signing it or voting, they've just left the state. And apparently, it's written in most states, actually. It's not just Texas. I was looking to see if it was just Texas, but it's actually most states that have this law. Not every state does, but most. If you run away from your, your responsibilities, basically, like, kind of like going, like, you know, AWOL when you're in war. It's kind of like that, but for a politician. If you go AWOL, away from your responsibilities, apparently, and there's like a vote you're supposed to be on, apparently it's a felony and you can go to jail. So there's a few Democrats. I think there's like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, I can't remember. But either way, I just thought that was crazy. And so what happened is now the guy from Texas, the governor of Texas, and then what's his name, Donald Trump, the president, they're literally sending like federal agents to find these people, and they're using other state representatives to hopefully, like, not really snitch on them, but give information on where their whereabouts are and stuff like that. And I just thought that was crazy. That's actually crazy. Not because they're Democrats and they're not Republicans, like, nothing like that. It's just, I think that's crazy that we have people who help run our country running from the law because they don't want to vote on a bill that's basically already decided. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's a civil offense? Oh, okay. Well, the video I was watching was breaking it down and said it was like like it was even a felony too, but maybe they were wrong. Again, I'm not trying to act like I know everything, but I just thought the whole situation, like, from an outside point of view, I thought that was crazy. I was like, no way, this is wild. It's a civil offense though, okay. That's wild though. And again, I'm not attacking people for being a Democrat, not attacking people for being Republican. I don't care about that. There's just the situation is crazy. I don't think it matters if they were red or blue. Going legit anyway. Oh, here, you sent it. Let me check it out. Wait, so this is yours or theirs and you were helping them? Wait, what? Hold up, bro. What camera are we using here? This is insane. Like, genuinely, what is this camera being used? I feel like I'm there. Look, that's Maddie. Just kidding, I don't know. That's sick. No, I was looking at the other thing too. Dum 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 dum. All yours? Wait, so everything I was looking at is yours. This is like all your stuff. Hold on, I'm opening this again. Damn, bro. I'm gonna come work for Maddie. Lakeside Landscapes, dude. That is a dope name. You and a friend? Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Like, no bullshit. No bullshit. Let's go through this. I like this. Super clean. Super simple. It's not a bright white. I like this, like, mix of whatever this color is. Also, the name is sick. Lakeside Landscapes for softscapes and hardscapes. Like, it just rolls off the tongue. Property maintenance as well, by the way. Welcome to Lakeside Landscapes, where every detail matters. Our highly trained team is specialized in making your vision come to life. The elevated experience we offer is guaranteed to make your neighbors envy you. With us, beautifying your home just got a little easier. Oh, just got a lot easier. I don't know if it's my computer or some of these images like aren't loading correctly. Like that one's fine. I don't understand. Then the other two were like a little off. I think it's my computer. I'm streaming and all that kind of shit. Damn, you left the shovels in the picture to make it look good. I like that. Because it kind of goes with like the whole, you know, what you're actually doing there. That looks kind of dope. Are you making these boxes for these plants as well? Because these look like custom or some shit. Or bought somewhere. See, like, that's good too. Like, it's kind of funny leaving those in there because it's like, yeah, look how many we put in. No bullshit. Alright, then we'll look at hardscapes. Patios and more. We love bricks. We do love bricks of cocaine. Let's go, dude. Killing it. Is there a way to, like, pause this fucking slide? Wait, did I just do it? Oh, I did it. You just click it. That's easy. Wait, what? Oh, okay. That's crazy y'all do downspouts too. Because I literally was in plumbing and we did downspouts in plumbing. That's crazy y'all do that. It's weird in other states too though, because like in Texas it's so strict. Like only plumbers can do certain things. And it's super strict here. But I know in like literally most states it's not like that. Damn, okay, I see you. That looked pretty good actually. Yo, this slide is going to piss me off with how quick it's moving. And clicking didn't work. Damn, these are really good pictures, though. I won't lie. These are really, really good pictures. It looks like you've literally been all around the state with these pictures. Not going to lie. That looks really good. Not even trying to glaze you. Genuinely impressed. Lakeside Landscapes. We're here to transform it. Autobots roll out. We got landscaping. Damn, Maddie, this is a fucking dope site, dude. I'm happy for you. This is going to get really good business for you, I think. Especially once you start sharing that it exists, like, around where you are, too. Nice. What a nerd, dude. What an actual nerd. Ooh, pressure washing. Oh, the after. It's nice. Jesus, some dirty ass concrete. That's pretty good. Damn. This was the video I was talking about. This is a crazy looking one. The hell are those? Huh. Fence looks good. This is a good video too, because these leaves are falling like cinematically as fuck. I mean, that looked like a movie at the end there. Add some depressing music to the background. I mean, these leaves look like somebody's throwing them at you like perfectly. That was like perfect. Damn. No testimonials yet. Oh, I won't show that. Damn, good shit, Maddie. Yeah, the slides are a little quick. And I don't even mind it. It's just like I wasn't able to like pause. Like sometimes it would let me click it and pause it. Sometimes it wouldn't. I think that's my only complaint, honestly. Like genuinely, that's my only complaint. Or edit or criticism. I don't know what you'd even call that. I would just say that the slides are moving too quick. Like, I don't care, but I know if someone older is looking at that, someone that owns a home and are like has kids and maybe their kids have homes and shit like that, they're not gonna fucking be able to go through that correctly. They're gonna get like a heart attack. Old people are slow. And that's who you should want to aim for, bro. Honestly. Those are the people who give a shit about their yards and about their house and their surroundings. That should be your target audience. That is so sick. I'm not even gonna lie. That's a dope site, Maddie. I would say your pictures and your videos were definitely a strong suit. Like, that was all perfect. I think it was my computer not loading some of them correctly. But you might want to double check that too. Make sure they're all like clear. But for the most part, dude, that was a really, really dope site. I give that like a 9.7 out of 10. I mean, that's pretty good. I kind of took the pressure washing off after just doing a... You're like, fuck pressure washing. I'm taking this off the site. It's not getting its own label. It's getting it. We're just gonna shove it into the landscaping section or whatever section it was in. Yeah, that's funny. It is cool you kept it in there though, in case people do investigate that further into it and see it. Because what you could do, instead of making like pressure washing like a main sale for someone, maybe you have it as like a smaller site or cheaper feature on the other end of like selling other things. If you're like, oh, we're gonna do some softscaping for you, we'll also throw in some free pressure washing for your sidewalk or for this little area around where we're working, not like the entirety of the house. And then maybe that leads them to being like, hey, could you do the whole house? And maybe you give them that option if they really want it. But really what your goal would be is to just kind of sell it as like a side thing, or even as like a free feature on the side of doing a bigger project for someone. That is a really, really good way of upselling things, is adding that little bit of smaller something into it. You know what I mean? In plumbing, that's like drain cleaning. Drain cleaning is the fucking freest thing ever. But everyone likes it, and you could throw it in on other projects, make them do more, make them want to buy more shit. That is a super dope site, though. I really am impressed, man. That is really awesome. I was like, damn, he made this all on his own. Like, let me see how, like, what we're getting into here. But the more, I had to question it at the beginning, because I was like, no way, like, this is crazy. Like, it looked professionally made. It looked really good. I like how big the words were, too. That was the easiest site to go through. Videos and pictures, definitely strong suit. You did a really good job with the pictures and video. You'll hire some high schoolers to power wash. You always could. It is a good way. But I think it's definitely a good thing for like something side. You're like, hey, we're working on this side of your house. You want us to power wash this part of your backyard sidewalk or whatever, or you know, patio or something smaller. Because I hear ya. Fuck doing all that power washing. But dude, good shit. Oh, your degree is in web design. My bad. Okay, well, that's probably why it looks so good then. I genuinely thought I didn't know that, or maybe I just didn't remember. Well, that makes sense now. I'm like, dude, it looks like a professional, like someone who's knowledgeable in this stuff made this. That's funny. He's like, yeah, I literally majored in that. Well, good use of it, honestly. I feel like most people that get a degree in web design are not using it like that, though. Like, are not using it as well as you are. Adding it to like your like all the working you're doing with your your scaping, like that's pretty cool. Tying two things you do together, pretty cool. User experience, but same shit, yeah. You actually have experience. I was genuinely glazing you as if you were someone who had never done that before or anything like it. That's the mindset I was in when I was glazing you. I still give it a 9.7 with that information though. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Well, guys, I'm gonna end the stream here soon. Do we have any questions or comments or anything like that, or just any whatever? I'm chilling right now. If you guys have anything, let me know. If you guys have any questions or want to go over something or just want to recover whatever. Want me to look at something? Want me to delete something? Whatever it is. If not, I will end the stream in a couple minutes. But I'm glad we went a little bit extra in the stream. I just got to chill and hang out and talk to a few of you a little bit more. I always enjoy it. I know some people are like, fuck, he's talking, I don't want to be in here. But, yeah. I mean, there wasn't much to update after we had that uptrend breakout. I guess I could just cover that for a moment. Now, the first one, not as enticing, not as sold on this. Even you could even hear my doubt in the stream most of the time. It was even here where I said, this is probably the time it should look its best. And even then, we were doubting it. We were doubting it hard. And it did pull back again. And it was only then on the 1 minute. And I only covered this after we had already moved away up to maybe this point right here. But we had covered how we did break it on the 1 minute and retook, and then broke it again and retook. Seeing two liquidity grabs, also known as the 90% entry, which just shows the probability of something. And it's just the invalidation of bears and the revalidation of, made up that word, validation of of moving back up again, which is a lot of energy built up. So, and you got to think about that, because there's people shorting this, getting into new shorts, and then they're instantly having to get back out. That doesn't just mean nothing. It's not just a poof of air. That sends the price up. People are having to see it go up. They're forcing it up by doing that. And we saw that twice at the same level. And then I would say definitely where I was starting to get more confidence would be when they retook the open on this last attempt over here. This one was definitely a little bit more doubtful because it's the first time going up, especially on our 5 minutes, the first time going up. This one, not as great because we didn't really get anything on the end of this. Because when I see this kind of candle, and you can see there's actually a couple of them. There's one here. There's one here. Kind of one here. You could even say that one's kind of one too, where there's like legs on both sides and they're kind of even and there's like a small body in between. And there's that one, there's that one, there's that one. And then this one's just an indecisive candle in general. What you're wanting to see when you see a candle like this is, what does the next candle say to me on this part of the chart, right? I would say this one, definitely the most promising. The only reason we were doubting it was because of how early in the morning that is. This one, the next candle just shows us shit, so, you know, it doesn't look great at all. You could even say maybe this one, next candle, definitely proving that it's a lot better looking. But then you get these two, right? And what does that next candle show? Okay, we're trying to retake this new high, and we're trying to go up. That's what that's telling us. So that definitely leads us into that next area. What's the next area? This resistance right here. Okay, so what's after that? Now we're holding this. And it's kind of funny because at the only two parts of the charts, two parts of this chart that I would say you definitely could have been bullish and it was somewhat passive, not overly aggressive, good risk reward, was actually the two spots Carter mentioned, the only two hammers on the day. So he mentioned the retake of the pre-market high with the hammer, and then he mentioned the, I think it's this hammer right here. I could be wrong though. I don't have all that on, but either way, it's nice that he was pointing that out at the only two parts of the charts that actually made sense for bulls and was passive with good risk reward. So good shit, Carter. Just kind of reflecting back on that. But that's kind of the gist of what happened today and how we reacted to things. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll end the stream there. Yo, sorry, I had to step away for a second. If anybody has anything, I'm here. Appreciate your time, like always. Feel much love, guys. Love you too, man. Peace, peace. See you, lag. No problem, Kobe. Thank you for being here. Alright, well, I'll end it there. See you later, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Love you all. If you guys have anything else, check out the Discord. Don't just join in and sign up. I will kill you. Not actually, just kidding. And yeah, have a great time. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll have some charts posted later for the recap and the levels for tomorrow. And yeah, see you guys later on.